All right, welcome to another episode of Off the Clock with Mo. Today, I had the honor of having a super close friend, a brother like this guy. You know, we've known each other since the early '90s.
Yeah,
Probably like 91, 90, between 90 and 92, somewhere
doing
between
that
there.
Truman time.
Yeah. So I've been trying to get you over here for the longest, man, and finally get you over here. You know, I just appreciate that you're showing up, that you showing the brother a little support, man. I deeply appreciate it. And everybody, this is Meeeech. Meeeech, thanks for coming on the show. And we're just gonna toast it up like I tell everybody, man. You know, man, we both be in heaven for 30 minutes before the devil find out.
Yeah, there you go.
After they hear this shit.
Running rebels. And I don't even drink, but I'm doing this for my guys. Special occasions, it's time to toss one.
Appreciate it. You know, yeah, but it's crazy. You know, because we in the hype of the sports right now in basketball, and Detroit basketball is back on the map now.
Man, about time.
Yeah, because last year, 28 straight losses, worst record in NBA history.
Man.
And no one saw this shit right here coming. They kind of snuck up like the Tigers did last season.
Yeah, like something in there in Detroit right now.
Yeah.
Y'all starting to do our thing. But yeah, Pistons doing it. I'm proud of them. Like this year in playoffs, I don't expect them to beat the Knicks, but
I kind of expect them to beat the Knicks. I don't expect to get if they make it to the second round. I don't expect them to get past the second round. But
I know they ain't gonna beat Boston, but I think this is the year for them to get their little bumps and bruises, and by next year they'll be ready. Cage, he's showing the league that he's a superstar. He should make one of them all NBA teams, hopefully.
Yeah.
But they can beat the Knicks. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying they can't, but with Beef Stew hurt, and we need one more person just to help Cade. Beasley broke his hell right now, so we just need a little more help. But we can beat them.
Yeah, I think we can beat them, man. You know, especially if you bring back, like you say, Beef Stew. He that intimidated for him and shit like
get on Cat so fast.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because he'll frustrate the hell out of Cat. Because as good as Cat is, he's soft as hell.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler showed that when he was in Minnesota. When that motherfucker took all the second and third string players and beat them.
Yeah.
And this motherfucker's supposed to be a dog.
And truthfully, I mean, not game three, but the first two games, Tobias Harris shouldn't be outplaying them. Tobias Harris was actually outplaying on the first two games. So
yeah, he did.
That just shows, like, Cat's an all-star. Tobias Harris is a role player.
Right.
He was outplaying Cat, so.
Yeah, Cat just is just, streaky. You know what I'm saying? And then I mean, like you said, now we get the NFL draft going on, and this has been a couple of, as a recent, happy to see the draft come about, not thinking that we're going to draft a receiver 5 years in a row.
Man, it's weird. It feels good. Like, most of the time Lions have a draft, you got to watch the first 20 minutes because we got the first first three picks. Now it's like, damn, I got to wait an hour to see our pick.
We got to wait. Yeah, we in the 20s.
Right, yeah. I like, damn, it's a good thing. I mean, we're a winning team now, but, like, I ain't used to that. Like, shit, like, first 20 minutes, hurry up and watch the Lions. We're going to miss their pick.
Right. Who they going to get?
Yeah.
Then it end up being a bust.
Man. Like you say, a receiver after receiver or some quarterback they thought was going to be something besides Stafford. Stafford, my guy. I know a lot of people don't like him. I rocks with Stafford myself.
Yeah, I like Stafford. I like Stafford, but I think, even part of with the Lions and with the Pistons is the management. Where the owners is letting management, make these sports decisions, because let's be honest, and football, the Ford family is not a football family. You know what I'm saying? They like the shit as a hobby, so they went and got some people that's football people that know football.
Literally,
you know what I'm saying, and then letting them run the show.
Same thing with the Pistons. When the guy Trajan Langley and somebody that actually know what he's doing out, and he done made some nice moves for us.
Yeah, and came up with JB Bickerstaff, and and that fits.
Coach of the year, by the way. Yeah. So.
You know what I'm saying? And just both them teams, they self, fits that Detroit that
grit.
That type of grit. The Pistons always had that grit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
That's what the Pistons have always hung their head on. The Pistons have never been like another basketball team in
right.
the NBA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From the bad boys to going to work. You know what I'm saying? Never been that quote unquote superstar team. You know,
Isaiah, bunch of key players together with the grit, the grind, and all trying to prove something. So yeah, I'm loving it right now.
Yeah, man. You know, especially like back in the day, you had with Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas said it on the podcast. That motherfucker said, "I beat Bird at his peak. I beat Magic at his peak.
Jordan.
I beat Jordan ass. He made sure he said, I beat Jordan.
Exclamation point.
I beat your ass. Right. You know what I'm saying? I never chased you. You chased me. You know what I'm saying? And Detroit has always had it, even with the 04 Pistons. You know, they had Kobe and Shaq. You know, at they peak to where it's like the Lakers gonna sweep the Pistons.
Man, that was one of my favorite sports times ever, man. That because everyone expected Karl Malone, Peyton, and I hate Karl Malone. So the fact that we beat them and Karl Malone was on that team just makes it so much better for me. Yeah. But Kay said something interesting. It's like, how you know now this year y'all a good team? And he was like, shit, because now when we play people, they superstars playing. Right. He's like, no, like we'll play Cleveland, Donovan. I mean, I went to Dale Pistons game last year. And Hyper said, I want to see Donovan Mitchell play because I actually like him. I'm like, shit, I'm looking up like Donovan Mitchell out, Garland was out. Like, well, shit, we about to win this game. We still lost by 30. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, so the fact that he said that, like, now when they play teams, they superstars is playing, now they taking it serious. So I rocks with that. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, so that's a good thing. I mean, even the Lions, is not the Lions, but the Tigers.
Yeah, Tigers.
You know they snuck up last year. Now this year they making a run. I think they in first place
right now. Yeah. And I don't follow baseball enough. My uncle, every time I talk to him, he let me know what's going on. He my sports center for baseball. He put me up on it. But see, they doing it. They won a playoff run series last year. So
yeah. So they won a series, a playoff series last year. They coming in. They in first place now. They started off 0-3 because they lost the 3.
They played what you call
Dodgers.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So you're like, well, damn, okay,
that's like
all right.
Golden State with KD. Yeah, but they did their thing. I see Red Wings just missed the playoffs. So
yeah, they just missed the playoffs. They made a little run.
Detroit standing up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, and Detroit is always is not just the Detroit sports, but then you get Then you get U of M.
Yeah, I was about to say the collegiate part of it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And even though U of M had a horrible season this year, they still beat Ohio State.
And they still beat foul way.
Yeah, and they beat Alabama in the bowl game. Again.
So, they
beat both teams again.
Yeah, and this next year we be ready. We finally got a set for quarterback, so hopefully we'll be back there.
Hopefully it don't end up like no damn Gardner. Wearing number 99 and shit and losing every game.
Was that the Rich Rod era though?
I think
so he get a pass. If it was the Rich Rod.
No, you don't get no pass for wearing 99 as a quarterback.
No, not the number, the play, because Rich Rod was horrible. Like, yeah. So I don't know if that Moeller or Rich Rod or who that was, but if it's Rich Rod, you get a pass. When he recruiting 150-pound offensive line, he wanted speed, like with shit. I need somebody to block for me.
Shit, I guess he ain't need no damn speed because you should be up the field. I guess I don't know what his reasoning was. Yeah, it was horrible though. Yeah, but that's been I think that's been like one of our bonds since we've known each other. Has always been sports. Either playing the shit on the game, watching the shit on the regular. When we lived in Taylor,
it's competitive, man.
Yeah,
I got to give you props too, man. Because like right now, I can go home, be like, hey, I'm gonna call you. You want to play 2K? We can play 2K online against each other, and it's normal. Look, this guy right here, 30 years ago was the first. He came in the house. We lived together, me, him. P. Kaya, we all together. Lived in the house. He came in the house one day with some type of device and it's like, hey, you can connect to the internet and you can play the game against somebody else. Now look, it's 4 of us living in this house. We all play the game. So I'm like, what the hell I want to play somebody that's not in this house in front of me? Like, that shit sounds stupid as hell. And now, 30 years later, he's ahead of his time. That's how you play. You play games online against people. But back then, I'm like, I'm about to play somebody mad in China. I'm like, man, that don't even sound cool, but now it's the thing. So you was ahead of your time. I give you that, bro. Like seriously, I remember you brought that device in the house. Like, what the hell is this?
It was a Sega Genesis that had a internet connection that went to the cartridge area, and then the cartridge went on top of that.
It was AOL, was it?
I don't know what it was. It was some. It went through the phone line. Yeah. I know that. I know that it went through the phone line.
That shit was genius. Now, like looking at it now, back then, I'm like, man, I just want to play you and kick your ass. So somebody else in this house. Like,
we had some time on the game at that place. I'm gonna come back to that a little bit later.
Yeah,
but you know, because you say you from Inkster, right?
Inktown, baby.
And so, how did you get from Inkster to Taylor?
Man, good story. Good
it ain't
question.
that far, but how did you know about?
You know, it's funny. You say they far, but back then when my mama told me after junior high school, I lived in Inkster my whole life, went to Inkster schools, junior high school. I'm like, I'm about to go to Inkster High. She's like, man, we about to move to Taylor. Like, man, I thought I'm a little young, so when she said Taylor, I heard Texas. I'm like, damn, we about to move out to Michigan. Like, what the fuck? Like, I ain't gonna be around none of my family. We gotta start over. And I was trying to egg my mama at that time because during that Inkster time, like as I told you growing up, like man, my junior high team, I never lost a game in basketball. Like we had some dogs, Pruitt, J.O., L.P., you know, Mr. Bell. So I never lost. So my mom saying we moving, period. Anyway, I'm like, Ma, I want to go to Inkster High, like, because I thought I was pretty good, you know. Yeah. So I'm like, maybe Michigan like wouldn't give me like LP, but I'm like, shit. All the scouts going to see him play, so maybe Eastern Michigan will start. Somebody, so I'm like, mine.
Somebody in stands going to see me too.
I'm like, we got 3 dudes that's literally collegiate ready to play in high school.
Right.
I'm like, I need to ride that tail. And when we went to Taylor, I realized we were still in Michigan, but man, I thought Taylor just sounded country as shit to me, you know.
Yeah.
Come from Inkster, predominantly black, it was different, you know what I'm saying? Like I was never around other races, so I had to adjust to that. But man, I didn't like it. Shit, for the first year, I didn't even stay there. Like I still would go to Inkster schools and live with my auntie in Inkster, and then just come home on the weekend. Then it got to a point that mom was like, "Man, this is too much." You know what I'm saying? You got to just go to Taylor School. So there it was.
Oh wow,
yeah, man.
And so in junior high.
Yeah,
you came to Taylor, or after junior high?
My 6th and 7th grade year in junior high, I was still living in Inkster. My 8th grade year, we moved to Taylor, but I still stayed there. Basically, I stayed with my auntie in Inkster to finish junior high there.
Okay.
And hoping like my mama forget, like let me go to high school at Inkster too. But by that time, she's like, "No, you got to go to Taylor schools."
Oh, okay. So you started your freshman year
in Taylor.
At which school?
Truman.
Oh, Truman.
The Cougars. Don't exist no more.
Don't exist no more. They done combined all the schools.
Yeah.
All the together. They done tore down the 2 other schools.
Yeah, that's
Taylor Center and Kennedy, and put everybody.
And that was a special little rivalry between them 3, especially for us. Kennedy being at Truman.
Yeah, but I never. You wouldn't even think Taylor was that big.
Man.
You wouldn't even think Taylor was that big to have 3 high schools in it.
Yes, like that was crazy though. But yeah, that's how I ended up being. And Taylor was actually cool. Like once I got there and got to know people. Like Marlo was the first person I met.
Okay.
He stayed 2 houses down from me. Once he befriended me, he started showing me the ropes around. And my first day actually going outside at Taylor, that's like, can you play basketball? I'm like, y'all talking my language. I'm like, shit, that's what y'all do? Okay. Like in my head, I'm like, y'all skateboarding around here and playing baseball. Like I ain't think, and they took me to a court. And from that point, I started getting to know people.
You know what, low key, Taylor had quite a few basketball courts.
Yeah.
In Taylor, where a lot of people play basketball. You wouldn't know it by hearing, I'm going to Taylor. There ain't shit out there.
Man.
And we had Amberwoods.
I was about to say, as you say, I'm going to say you got to pick your poison, though. They say Amberwoods, lopsided court.
Hell yeah. And how we never broke an ankle must mean we got some strong ass ankles.
Right.
Well, we never played in low top like they do in the NBA now.
You couldn't over there. You almost need the rest of Tim's. Like shit. Because man, you got to watch your crossovers, which way you go, which way you run around the court.
Because if you hit if you did the crossover on one of them potholes, that motherfucker's going this way.
Man, like that. Then you had
had Eureka there.
Then it's like you had one rim that's 9 feet, then another rim 11 feet. So it's like, which rim you gonna get?
You had to shoot for rims.
I'm about to say you gotta win. You gotta win that first game, so now you can pick your rim. Like, hey, this one is our rim.
Hell yeah,
like,
that motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
And we wasn't even in prison, and the rim was that damn high.
Man, that shit was horrible, man. Them rims, at one point, I thought I could never dunk, but I thought I could jump pretty high. Playing there, I realized the rim was 11 feet. I'm like, damn, I'm not getting close to this bitch. But yeah. Then you had Pine Ridge with that high ass double rim.
Yeah, Pine Ridge. But that court was
like a driveway.
it was small as hell.
Yes.
The rim was taller than the motherfucker.
Man.
You know, because I remember when they first put that rim down. You know, I had been in Taylor for shit. My mother moved to Taylor, I want to say probably in like 76 or something like that.
Okay.
Somewhere around, I can't remember right offhand, but somewhere around there. But I was in Inkster until 81.
Okay.
And I moved to Taylor in 81 because I went to kindergarten at Woodson Elementary School in Inkster. And then I went there for kindergarten and then part of the first grade. Then I finally had to move in with my mother in Taylor.
Okay. It's a situation like that. Like,
you know, my mother like, you're not just going to continue staying in Inkster. I'm your mother and you my son and you coming to, you know, my grandparents wanted me to stay out there.
Right.
But my mother finally put her foot down. It was like, you coming home. You can go out there every weekend if you want to. But you coming home. You can spend all your summers out there if you want to. Man. But you're coming home. So I had been out there, you know, for quite a while. You know, when I was in Taylor, I seen Taylor when Taylor had when it was like when that part of Taylor was half black and white.
Okay.
You know, I don't know if you remember Heather Hatfield.
No.
But I used to stay right next door to her, you know, because she her and her family they was white. My first set of friends they was white. I had a friend named Wesley. That's what his name was. His name was Wesley. The first friend I ever had in Taylor because we was in first grade and we just became friends and stuff like that.
Okay.
In the first grade. So and then as time started going on, as the 80s started going through, you know, then crack hit.
Crack Ridge.
Yeah. Then and then, you know, Pine Ridge was, you know, it hit Pine Ridge like a motherfucker too. Man. You know, where the rails was where everything went down at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And the crazy part is my father used to come by. Mm-hmm. And my father used to have a blue Caprice Classic.
Okay.
And everybody thought he was the police. Because he had this long ass car. It was blue. And then they look in the car and see this black man in the car and know damn well Taylor ain't had no black officers at the time. You know what I'm saying? And at some point, you know, we to fast forward a little bit more, you know, we ended up crossing paths. Mm-hmm. You know, and that was over basketball. That was over sports.
Yeah.
You know, but I never knew you had lived next to Marlowe. Yeah. I just know you to live in the middle.
Yeah, when I moved by the creek. Yeah, by the corner crib. Yeah. That's kind of about where the court was. Yeah. First I stayed 2 houses down from Marlowe and Pete ended up moving across the street.
Right.
Yeah, so had a little triangle. We used to always go hoop and that's kind of how it's kind of everybody in Taylor I kind of connected through basketball. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like all the rebels and everybody I kind of connected through. You I connected through. Now I knew you at Truman. Now I used to see you here and there, but you know how it is. You was a grade over me, so now I'm the new kid in Taylor. But nobody rocking with me too much. Like actually, my first friend at Taylor was a white person too. Just kind of your same story. I don't know if you knew Jeff Burleson.
Yeah, I can't picture his face, but the name rings a bell.
Yeah, he first he walked up to me, chopped it up with me. We started hanging out. He had a hoop court at his crib, and he was nice. I'm not trying to be funny. Nobody get upset with me saying this, but me come from Kingston, predominantly black. Sometimes when we played schools that was white, we'd go there, we'd mop them. It was easy. It was so. When I seen Jeff, he told me he could hoop. The first thing in my head, like, yeah, he can't really hoop. He ain't that guy. But man, Jeff is nice as shit. He is a lefty, and I'm like. And man, him started becoming hoop partners. Every time we'd go hoop together, and I became cool with him. And then I started branching out because I was shy as hell and starting to get to know everyone else. But yeah, like Quick was probably the last one I met out the Rebels. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah,
he was on the other side of town.
Yeah.
He was on the other side of town.
We can get to that you want eventually. Paris versus, but right now, but yeah. But it was some hoopers, a lot of good hoopers in Taylor, man. That's how I started bumping heads and running to everybody, including you. And through basketball, man. And one thing about you, I had realized on the court, like I'm a shit talker, you know what I'm saying? So a lot of people I was playing with, even in Taylor, they weren't necessarily shit talkers. So I had hoop with you one time. I'm like, damn, this guy on some shit that I did. Well, probably 10 times more. I'm like, and I love that shit. You know what I'm saying? That's what I like. I want people to hoop with me that's confident, that's gonna not back down for no one. And we used to be grown man.
Yeah. When we look back at it, we used to beat a lot of
grown ass,
and they used to get super mad at us and want to fight us.
Yes. I mean, I was talking shit to one. Is an older guy and big, strong and all, but I was mopping him up on the court, killing him, and I was talking some that shit. He looked at me like, "Look, fella, I'll slap the shit out of
you." Speaking about that, about shit talking. Before I met you, I used to I used to play basketball with the Davises. With Kai and Sabir and all them when I was younger, and I don't know, maybe I always had it or didn't, but being with them, you had to learn how to talk shit because they would talk about you. They wouldn't talk about you on the basketball court because they couldn't play.
Right.
but you go over their house and by being so many people, they would talk shit.
Yeah.
And I had to. It was either not talk shit and cry, or talk shit and try to make them cry or something. So I had to. I may have always had it in me, but
they helped bring it out.
Yeah, they brought the shit out, and then once it came out, that was it. And I remember one time me and Kaya was at Eureka Dale, and we were playing with some other people. And you remember? I don't know if you remember the store, In and Out, the liquor store, In and Out.
Yeah.
One of the guys that used to run the store, it was a family store, was up there playing basketball. He older guy. He had to be like in his 20s at the time.
Okay.
We was still on our team. We were still in high school, probably like freshmen or sophomores in high school. And I was talking so much shit to the guy that he literally wanted to fight me. Like he literally wanted to fight me, and Kaya was scared that we was gonna get into a fight with this grown ass man. But I never backed down, and I kept doing the shit.
I can see that.
I kept talking like, shit, man, you're going to be an older man beating up a kid. Either way it goes, you're going to lose.
Right.
Because if you beat me up, you lost because you don't beat up a juvenile. If you get beat up by a juvenile, you lost because you got beat up by a juvenile.
Right, though.
Which I doubt if I would have won, but either way it goes, you were going to lose. And that talking shit, it's crazy because sometimes your teammates will get frustrated with it, and they can't. Your teammates can't afford to get frustrated with it because now it takes them out their game. And that was the one thing about you was I could talk shit with you, and it would get you to play even that much more, even that much better, to where it didn't affect you, but it would affect everybody else. It was a couple times it affected P. People like, man, stop it! Like, I can't stop it. I ain't gonna stop it.
I'm on my Draymond Green.
Yeah, I'm good now. I'm in the zone now. Yeah. I felt like Woody Harrelson. I'm in the zone now.
See, I love that shit because I used to literally see the person you hawking like. I used to read his body language like, man, this nigga pissed off. Like he want to fight us right now. He's not even thinking about playing basketball no more. So I fed off that shit. Like, yeah, like if he talking shit, now it's my turn to talk shit to my guy. And yeah, we used to probably the two shit talkers for sure on the team.
Oh yeah.
Everybody talk shit, don't get me wrong, but we probably went over the top a little bit.
Yeah, you know, because like I told Pete before, when I bumped into y'all two, I think it was in Amberwoods, and my whole thing coming up was I was just in love with basketball. Basketball had always been my first love, and everybody that I played basketball with, being in Taylor, ended up going to sell dope.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it was some of them dope boys was some real good basketball players before they got into the game.
I know a couple in my head. I won't say. Yeah, I know a couple for
before
sure.
Before they got into that game, they were some real. They were some real players.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I never went that route with them you know, and I just stayed playing basketball. And I kept, I guess you could say I was like a journeyman and shit, trying to find people to play with,
right?
You know, and just couldn't. And then when I bumped into UNP in Hampton Woods, but whoever I was playing with, I kept losing with y'all and shit like that, you know, because I felt I had to. I could score it if I felt like it when I wanted to. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But when I got with y'all, I didn't have to no more.
You
know.
You did.
But I kept losing to y'all. Yeah. I kept losing to y'all all the goddamn time. Yeah. And I like, well, shit. Shit. If you can't beat them, join them.
that's the Westminster goddamn. Like these Paris girls right here, man. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, hooping like man, we was nasty together, man.
Yeah.
The thing I don't like is I be trying to tell my boys that they ain't never said like, Pops, I don't believe you, but you can tell as you telling my kids that they looking at me now like 47 now. You know what I'm saying? So
you was 47 30 years ago.
Right, like man, like I just know like your pops is bad, and I actually bumped into I don't remember a few people. Remember that one short? He was real short. He used to always play against us. We always put a line on him. He was nice. I think we called him Mario or something.
He was older?
Yeah, he was older.
Yeah, I think I know who you're talking about.
I bumped into him at the grocery store one day, and he looked at me. He like, we used to hoop together. Then he looked directly at my sons. Is like, your pops is a bad boy, man. That shit made me feel so good. I was like, man, what's in your cart? I'll buy your good t-shirt. I feel good. Like I like look at my boys. Like, man, I told you, man. Your pops was bad at one point.
Yeah,
we had a hell of a squad, and named myself the Rebels, man. Like, a lot of people don't understand that now. What that meant then, like, cause man, of course we love Mexican. We die hard 5-5, but the Rebels that was before the 5-5.
Yeah,
that's when we was lightening up, and that was the elite team.
And cause we would go. We would go everywhere,
city to city.
Yeah, we'd be in Taylor, and we'd go to Wyandotte, and we'd go to
Romulus.
We went to a shitload open gyms and quite a few open gyms in Romulus.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. We'd
go to city. Line had a couple spots for us to go to. I remember,
and then we went to basketball. We would go to Basketball City in Southgate.
Yeah,
and that motherfucking court wasn't no longer than this damn bar and shit like that.
That shit,
two steps, you was at half court.
I used to wonder, like, should we not be playing 5-on-5 right now? Like, maybe 4-on-4 with a sub, because that shit was, it wasn't no space, for a player like me, like, P ain't quick with the shooters, you know what I'm saying? So it was all right for them, but me, I like to go to the rack, so I need some space. Like, that shit used to irritate me going there, man, because I didn't have enough space for me to maneuver like I wanted to.
Yeah, but that motherfucker would have over 100 people.
Yeah.
Calling next.
Hell yeah.
And that damn thing, back in the day, calling next, you had to do your best to try to stay on that damn court.
Man.
If not, it was a good chance you was gonna be cold. Your sweat was gonna be gone. You was gonna be cold. You was gonna forget what line you was gonna forget who you was next after.
Man. That's why we not trying to toot our own horns, but I mean, face it, we owned open gym at Truman, man. Like
Truman.
But Truman is like when they used to have that 2-3 hour open run.
Yeah.
Whenever we got on the court, we never lost.
Right.
So it's almost like everybody else there is y'all compete with each other for next. Like, cause I remember a few people like me used to say that, like, man, I be running good, doing my thing. And I say, y'all niggas work up, and like, damn. Like, once we got on there, boy, and we had a lot of rebels. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a nucleus, but we had. Yeah, like I heard one of y'all mention Wayman and one of your shows. It might have been with you.
Wayman.
That's my guy.
Yeah, Wayman. But Wayman would be Wayman. I remember Wayman being streaky, and then at the same time, Wayman would lose his confidence fast as hell.
Yeah, he would. So that Wayman was the only person who he smiled the whole time.
Yeah, he would play, and then if he was on, he was on.
Yeah,
and then but if he was off, then he would just lose his confidence, and then he would just make mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake after mistake.
Yeah,
he would pass up on open shots. Like, man, you gotta take. It's bad when you get mad at somebody for not taking the open shot.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he wouldn't take the open shot, but like I said, but if Wayman was on, it was all day. He
hustled.
He had I remember Wayman having a hell of a form when he shot.
He had that Horace Grant shot from like the top of the key. Like that was the spot. It was a couple. One guy, I forgot his name. His kind of tall, bald headed. He was a little athletic. He shot a lot though. Like I even got into it one time. He lost it.
Maybe did he do a lot of dunking during warm up, but never could dunk in the game?
Yes,
Yeah, I
it's
think I know
your boy. Like you brought him to us.
yeah.
He was hooper. He just
I remember him.
He didn't fit our style. Like we ain't bought like one person don't shoot every time.
Right,
like, we
right.
But I forgot his name. He was nice though. We had a lot of people with us that was nice. That'll come and just attached to us, and Irene, that's my dog. Give props to Irene. She was like one of our biggest fans. Like she'd see us cut the open court and be like, "It's over for everybody. My boy's here." And that she used to hype me up like, "Yeah, Irene."
Man,
like that shit, man. Those some days.
Yeah, that basketball. Because we was in shit. I guess you could say we probably. I guess you could say we broke up one team. Shit, yeah, we did break up with that. Ain't no probably too. We did break up one team because we kept beating them so much. One of their guys needed to come to play with us.
Yes, sir. You want to admit it, but yeah. That was the ultimate. If I can't beat them,
that motherfucker quick was like, hey,
you got room for what? Yeah, he damn sure and was winning ever since.
Because I don't know what happened. Because the one person, basketball wise, that I just did not like basketball wise. And he was supposed to be in like the coldest in Taylor and all this shit like this. And I played with him. I don't think you was there at the YMCA tournament.
I heard about that, but nah.
And this motherfucker just laid the egg the whole time. It wasn't just one game.
Say multiple
games, but it was one game in particular that was like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Mm-hmm.
And that motherfucker, I hope he come on one day. I'm trying to get him on here one day. I don't dislike him as a person.
Yeah.
I just didn't like his game.
Mm-hmm.
And this motherfucker got done up by this white kid that had to been like 5'10". He was posting them up. He was hitting fadeaways on him. He was hitting them with up and unders. He was doing all type of shit to this motherfucker, man. And this shit pissed me off. We got to the locker room, man, and I just lost it. And I don't know who I was in the car with, but YMCA at the time was on 4th Street, either Southgate or Wyandotte.
Mm-hmm.
And we going down 4th Street, and that motherfucker got mad and threw a Slurpee in my car.
I heard about that.
So I drive down. I done put the pedal to the metal trying to catch up to this motherfucker on 4th Street, getting in and out of traffic and shit. I don't invite nobody to do this shit. This was actual road rage. I'm just happy the motherfucker ain't had no gun.
Gemini came out then.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I called back up to him and threw the motherfucking Slurpee back in his car. Or at his car. I can't remember if it went in or not. But that motherfucker Turk pissed me off.
I know you're
that motherfucker Turk pissed me off that day, man. Yeah. And because they had just, if I'm not mistaken, he had just got out of jail.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, how are you in jail, supposed to be playing hooping, and you got this little 5'9" white kid posting you up doing? If I ain't know no better, I think Elijah Wine had lost his pigmentation.
Damn, I knew you talking from the start of it because I ain't played with him a lot, but I used to hear the hype of him, and I tried maybe because that was my homie. I always said to me personally, rest in peace. I thought Chop was the best. Out the clique of Westminster, because Chop was nice. He had a nice J and all.
Oh yeah,
I didn't hoop with Turk a lot, but I used to hear the hype of Turk. But
I didn't
overhyped it. Like I thought I was waiting to see Jordan. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because the way people were speaking upon him, which he had a strong inside game, but like I say, I ain't.
Not that day. Not that day, he didn't.
Okay, like I say,
he gave up a strong inside game.
Man, I do know he had. You jinxed me, but he hurt me. Remember we had that little 3-on-3 tournament somewhere in the city, and we had 2 teams we brought there.
Oh yeah.
Before, we playing around.
It was some type of dust smacker or some shit.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Oh, okay.
We was waiting so long to start playing. I got bored. And I said, let's start playing 1-on-1s. And like, if I score on you, get the hell on. Next person should come up. So I had scored on a couple of people. Your ass like, man, you better start doing that. You gonna get hurt. Next day I played Turkey Hawk me, and I tried to spin on him, and all I know I failed and fucked up my hand. We played game 1, I was cool. By the time game 2 came, bro, we waited like an hour and a half to play game 2. My shit had swole up, and I couldn't even play. I felt bad. I had left Red, Line, and Badu. We was on the squad together. Like I couldn't.
They thought you got hurt on purpose because of who you had on your team.
I had Red. I had Line. I had a good team. I had Red. Red was my dog.
They're like, did anybody want to play with Badu? That motherfucker Meeeech got
hurt. But you know what's crazy? I love playing with Badu on my squad because he is the ultimate role player. He's gonna play D, rebound, and not trying to be cocky, but back then I wanted to shoot a lot. So with a person that don't want to shoot, I mean I get to shoot more now. So I like playing with Badu, but I was pissed as hell because man, that was one of them that wasn't hoop it up. No, we got a trophy for that one.
Yeah, I mean we went to hoop it up, quite a few times.
Yeah.
Before we finally
because once I went, one year was a weird year, man. I went with Courtney and Badu. Was me, Courtney, Badu, and P.
Y'all went. That's when Badu had the Duke and Fife jersey.
Yeah. I like out of all Michigan jerseys, just the way you come up with. like you just trying to bounce somebody that you probably better than. Like Duke and Fife. I'm like, yeah, I remember that. I forgot about that shit.
Yeah. I remember. Yeah, I remember that. But during our peak years of going to hoop it up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We would always get close and we'd get close.
Oh yeah.
All the damn time. And then it was the one time that P brung Vicky.
Mm-hmm.
I had brung my then wife, who's my ex-wife now.
Yeah.
And then that was the time that I don't know, maybe I was in my Woody Harris phase and I was just in the zone and talking shit. And I remember it was these younger white kids, and they had their girlfriends there too.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing was I couldn't get beat in front of my girl. That was my whole thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had to play extra harder because I'm telling her, we going to play basketball. We going to play basketball. Yeah, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then you finally get to watch me play basketball. I'm trying to
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even though it ain't nothing to impress, but
it's just the pride of a young man, especially.
And I was talking shit to them guys. I was talking shit to their girlfriends on the
side. Know what? I remember that might have been one of the few times that I actually was probably trying to calm down, right? Which I never do. Well, one of those times I think I was like, whoa, man, you going at the girls and all, like shit, but. Maybe you score their famous goddamn. like, whoa, it's giving these cats the bit. We probably won because of that. Because I know they're again ready to fight. You talking to our girls every time you score or do something.
Yeah.
That's the year we won it too, if I ain't mistaken.
Yeah, that was the year we won because that year we saw Lindsey Hunter was there.
Oh yeah,
and we saw Billy Sims was there. Hollering at them young ass.
Okay, I was gonna say what I saw because I was like, I remember that. I remember his words he said, and I remember thinking like, damn, like some of these are a little too young for me. And that was what 2021 at the time. Like, damn, really?
We was somewhere right around there.
Yeah, that shit. I remember one of them damn who alternatives. My dumb ass decided to drink the night before.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, everybody, you sure? You sure? Like, I'm gonna be good. What I didn't tell y'all, man, I was so fucking hungover that first game of that day. Just happened to be a day game, an early game. Like, I woke up, man. And my whole thing, like, I'm not about to let nobody on my team. Y'all probably knew it just seeing it, but I ain't about to say it because I don't want to hear that I told you so. Man, I was hurting bad, bro. I couldn't wait to get that game over and go back to the hotel and lay down.
Because I think P was the one that orchestrated all the tournaments. P used to love orchestrating all the goddamn games that we would be set up to play. We gonna go over to the rec. We would go over to the rec.
Yeah.
And remember, because we would get into it with them, like you said, with them grown men. But I remember it was one set of grown men. One of them name was Mouse.
Is that the one with Chris though?
It may have been. I just remember Mouse, because he could jump his ass off.
Isaiah, I thought his name.
It could have been Isaiah.
That probably his nickname.
His nickname was Mouse.
Yeah.
But he was kind of short, somewhat light, probably like your complexion.
I know you're talking about.
And that motherfucker could jump out the gym.
Fuck yeah.
And I remember when we got into a fight with them at the rec center.
Yeah.
In the whole area, because you remember the rec, it was the basketball court. It was the basketball court, and then on top it was the indoor track.
Yeah.
And everybody would sit up there and watch the games from the indoor track.
Yeah.
You know, and I remember we ended up get into a fight because we used to play them all the time.
That's like a semi-rival type thing.
Yeah, we would play them in Amberwood. We would play them at Eurekadale. We would play them, I think maybe even Pine Ridge at a point or two.
In that rec, they used to have that tournament every weekend.
Yeah, they had
we always somehow we were probably the two better teams always in it. So we always a bump heads, and I remember that. And the majority of the time we would win. So
yeah, cause they was grown because we were still in school.
Hell
and they, you know, and they was grown.
Yeah,
you know.
I remember that shit because I remember, and it's ironically I see some of them to this day here and there. But out of all people, like you started the fight just shit talking, they couldn't take it, and we just went in and you shit talking. But out of all people, any rebel you go at me, you, P, like. Niggas went out of line.
Yeah.
Like, man.
Yeah.
The littlest nigga out of all of us. Like, that shit was so whack. Like, man, if I was talking shit and you came at me, okay, I get it. But I'm like, you waited for line to say some shit, then you like, it's like LeBron covered that Stephen A. Like, man, how you gonna go? Come on, man. Stop that, bro.
Yeah, so, them motherfuckers, they would. And
he ended up, one of them ended up living next door to me. Later on, I had moved back to the Ridge.
Yeah.
And one of them stayed right next door to me, like, hey, ironic in life. like, we're not gonna talk about the elephant in the room, man. So, just let it be. No, we ain't rock with each other too much. So.
Right. You know what I'm saying? But we was, you know, even that basketball, you know, took us to the point to where, you know, we all ended up moving in with each other.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? And
it's the funnest time.
Yeah, because you know when people was like, shit, my mama left me the house. Shit, you want to move in? I was shit. My thought was, shit, we that means we could just continue playing basketball. We ain't gotta call each other up or come to each other's house and do all this other stuff to go play basketball. So I mean, well, shit, yeah, that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Let's do this.
Yeah, I seen you giving props to him on that. Yeah, that was up. You reached out to me, and then Kaya, and like that was had some fun times in that place, man. That was the club days too. That's when I was in my club scene.
Man,
clubs all the time. We went to the club, and that's all we did. How did we survive, man? Like
shit, we ain't had nothing to eat.
That's what I'm about to say. How did we survive? We ate ramen noodles, or we had hookups. Like remember, kind of cousin worked at Little Caesars.
Little Caesars, we go to Little Caesars.
Yeah,
he got to the point we had to make our own pizza.
Yeah, he got tired of us. Come on, man, make your own shit.
Yeah, let's go back and make your own pizza and shit like that. We'll make the pizza and say, all right, thank you.
Hell yeah.
We'll be gone, walking back to the crib and shit. Cause we ain't never had shit in the motherfucking refrigerator.
Not ramen noodles, so that's not in the fridge. So shit.
Hell no. And we had that one long computer in the damn kitchen or dining room area. We had that one computer in there. That for what I don't know.
Man, I forgot about that. Yeah, and we had the special phone service.
Oh yeah, that motherfucking special phone, man. Everybody came over to use that motherfucking phone.
It got to the point I get offended when they pick up the phone. Like, hey, who is this? Like, who is you? Doing it ain't my line.
I'm on the phone right now.
Like, hang up, shit.
Give me about 5 more minutes. I'll be off. You know, and you know that was, you know, because after a while. That damn place damn near became the spot almost.
Yeah, hell yeah. That was
because motherfuckers was coming over there all the goddamn time. Little Charles was coming over there. Richard was coming over.
Yeah,
Rook was over there all the time. Then Quick started coming over there. Then Line, we ain't seen Line in years. Then Line came over. Everybody across the street.
Yeah, Line was like the neighbor that sleep on the couch. Like the couch is Line's.
Man.
Battling on NBA Live, Madden.
Oh yeah, we used to. Yeah, when we would do the basketball, I think you had a friend that always came over and thought he could play.
Oh yeah,
and we used to gamble. We used to gamble.
I used to get like we'd cash our checks and he'd come over and like halfway his check is gone. I was like, man, go home with it. He get the talking shit. I'll take all your money if I could. And got to the point like, hey Mo, you want to play this again? Like I just took X amount of dollars for him. Like somebody else want to, like, please help me out. Like shit.
Hell yeah. And it was
mad. That's what it was.
It was mad.
It was mad because I remember distinctly I know it is. He always picked Philadelphia Eagles, and that particular year on Madden, I mean, they wasn't horrible, but they really wasn't the greatest. So
Yeah.
I was telling every game, like, you gonna stick with that team? Yeah. Like, like, duh, like that shit was horrible. Like, but yeah.
Yeah, you know, we have four guys in 2 rooms, and I don't know how the hell we made that shit. I don't know how the hell we made that shit work. But somehow that shit worked for as long as it could, and then on top of that, with four of us, the first year we was there, you was still in high school.
I was. Hell yeah.
What was that like? Then I got my own shit.
That shit was lovely. I felt grown in high school. Like, go to high school, like, hey, you want to just leave school, go to my house? Like, even your mom house, like, no, my shit. Like, I distinctly remember, bro, back then it was answering machines on the phone still. And I remember getting in trouble, and I'm in the principal. I'm in the principal's office, man. The principal decided to call home to tell on me. No one answered this landline, but it still got P's voicemail on it, connected to that. So he heard that shit. So he left the message telling me the whole time in the office, I'm trying my hardest not to laugh. I come home, as soon as I get to know you, everybody start laughing at me like, oh, we got a trouble in there. Like, man, you know how hard it was not to laugh in front of the principal. Like, hey, dog, you not telling on me. Like, I'm gonna go home and listen to this and laugh with my homies. Like, that shit, man. There was some days, boy.
Man, that shit was crazy. Then your ass went and got suspended.
Man, yeah.
Now, how did that happen? Because that was with you and old girl.
Yeah, I ain't gonna say her name, but you could, but yeah, it was me doing some dumb shit, being dumb as hell.
What the hell did y'all do?
Something we ain't had no business doing. We was in school trying to be grown. Me, her, and my homie Red, and basically, you know, we just know it's legal today, but it wasn't back then. I just say that.
Oh, she might have seen you was smoking weed and got caught smoking weed. Shit, you got caught in the bathroom smoking cigarettes.
Oh yeah. But it was one of those situations. I remember like yesterday when it happened. I'm like, nah, don't know how. You just had to hold your conscience telling you no, because it wasn't like it's the first time it happened. You know what I'm saying? As far as doing it there, but that whole day, I'm like, man, no, then let's meet up. In my head, like I shouldn't. Then I fucked around, did it with them, went outside, and like it's almost like they was watching us because within 5 minutes, like I probably didn't get a chance to hit it. You know what I'm saying? Like it just.
Do you remember which teacher or counselor, whoever it was?
It was Miss Palmieri.
Oh, I remember Miss Palmieri.
Yeah. It was her ass, man, and it was funny because I went to her and first I thought it was gonna be like you get suspended for a week, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't have to go in adult ed after that shit because she was like, gotta go to a drug counseling program and all this shit. I'm like, come on, fucking joint? Like,
now that part I didn't know.
Yeah, that's the only reason I didn't go back. No, I ended up just going to adult ed later, like, but because I'm like, they wanted me to go for drug counseling. I'm like, and the whole thing, I'm sitting here thinking like, I don't think I even got a chance to hit it yet. So technically, you just caught me in the presence of it. But yeah, man,
they wanted you to go to drug counseling.
Yes.
So you watched that movie Half Baked, right?
Oh, that's one of the best.
Yeah, and remember they had Dave Chappelle go in there.
Yeah,
like you ain't here for marijuana,
right? Like get your ass out of hell, yeah.
He smoked crack. We smoke crack over here. You ain't here for marijuana.
Right, I'm over here like this. Get your ass out of here.
And what was that comedian? The white comedian? I can't remember his name, but he passed away. And he was like
big dude.
No, skinny. The guy from Family Matters. No, not Family Matters. Family took place in San Francisco. Something Family took place with the Olsen twins.
Oh, Full House.
Full House. The father on Full House. He was in the movie. And when the black guy was like, you ain't here for marijuana? And then he was like I smoke crack. And like, you ever suck dick with smoking marijuana? He said no. He said I have, and the black guy said I seen him.
I do that. I know he passed away. I know.
Yeah, he passed away a few years ago.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, they want you to take drug counseling for marijuana.
Yeah.
In high school for marijuana.
For a piece of a joint. It's like it was a Jamaican blunt just sitting in my hand with is a piece of a joint.
And then the call came in with the voicemail again.
Like, damn,
your son has been suspended. Your son has been suspended indefinitely for heavy drug use on school property.
I was so pissed at that for a minute. I was like, man, I was on my Chris Webber. I ain't going back to Michigan shit. Like, shit, like, I ain't visiting, I ain't going. But of course, no, that's where we ran open gym at a few years later. But
yeah,
but hell yeah,
you know that shit, bro. You know, just living there, you know, brings back a lot of no memories. Even the time that me and you had we had met this one girl.
I swear, I thought that story. Like, should I say it? Like, oh yeah,
we had met that one girl. Man. We was like, shit, we better go back to the crib.
Duh.
And then Kaya and P pulled up, and she like, what kind of party you think this is?
Bro. My granny, we met her in Southland.
Yeah.
To give you more visual, we met her in Southland. Somehow we talked her. Because first she wasn't trying to have none of that shit. We talked her into going to our house, which is in Pine Ridge. Yeah. So we walking Southland Pine Ridge. It's a nice little 20-minute walk, maybe. As we walking, we plotting, this young man do. By the time we get to the crib, P and Kaya don't got their keys. So they standing on the porch waiting on us. Pre-cell phone days.
Yeah, we didn't have cell phones like that back then.
Man, and we homegirl saw them two of the porches saw us like, oh fuck no.
I don't know what kind of party you think this is.
Like,
this ain't it.
Like, man. First time I was probably actually mad at somebody for coming home. Like, why you come home?
but man, we had some shit. Even with when P met this one girl and she had her friend named Shaq, and she would not leave me the fuck alone. She would not leave me alone, no matter how much I tried to diss her, be mean to her. She just would not leave me alone. And then that motherfucker Rook would egg the shit on and be like, no, he like you. He just don't know how to say it or some shit like that. And I come home one day, she done made up the bed and did all this extra shit. No matter what. I even hid from her one time in the car, in the parking lot.
To start out, just a woman's nickname, Shaq. That alone,
but she didn't look like no Shaq. She wasn't no 7 foot, 375 pound Shaq. She was actually kind of small, but she wasn't the easiest on the eyes.
Yeah, I mean, she's just like little extra, like very blunt.
You know, and I used to try to hide. I remember one time I was in the car, leaned all the way back, and P was like, "There he is, right there in the car." And I still tried to hide. I mean, I came up with so many damn different. I got to take my cousin to the doctor. He got asthma. I came up with shitload after shitload after shitload of excuses.
Man, I remember that one girl. Y'all let them back in the house, man. One of them decided the one I was kicking with got mad at me and slapped me. So I was an asshole when I was younger too. So it probably was all my fault. Who knows? But anyhow. Remember, she did that. Now, I don't hit women, never did. But when she did it, it's like a reaction. Like, get the fuck out of my house. I kicked her out. I go upstairs. I'm mad as hell. My girl, I kicked out. She's supposed to stay out. All of a sudden, I'm in my room. She come walking upstairs drunk. I'm like, what the fuck just happened? Like, who let you back in this house? And what you been drinking since I kicked you out? Man, she was so sloppy drunk that everybody was like, no, get her. I'm like, man, everybody take advantage of this girl. But what we did have to do is take her home, and I would pull one of those house parties. Remember, when my man was drunk as hell, they knocked on the door. I gotta take her home, like, to her daddy. like, is she drunk? And I'm like, man, I'm gonna knock on the door and I'm gonna lead her to the door, man. I'm like, I can't get shot by her daddy right now.
Right, you know what I'm saying, man. But in hindsight, man, with that, you know, you got to be able to look at that shit, man. And how many young men is going to bring somebody else's daughter home from being drunk and hadn't taken advantage of it?
I was about to say, didn't take it in. Yeah. That slapped me. You know what
I'm saying? And her daddy may have very much well been pissed off at you, and it could have been rightfully so. Yeah. But at the same time, no, because I could have, but I didn't, and I brought home. Today, shit, these kids today taking Percocets and all type of ecstasy pills and
it's different.
And doing all this shit like this. Ain't nobody dropping nobody else's kid off at home saying I ain't do nothing, but here she go. I want to make sure she was safe.
Right. When I say sloppy drunk, I mean she was well proportioned. She just laid on my bed, and my mom was like, get her, man, get her. I'm like, man. I'm like, that's some ill shit. Especially, ain't like we ever met each other prior to that. So
right.
This is gonna be the first time. Like, we gonna talk about, hey man, when I was sloppy joking, you took it back. I'm like, nah, man, we ain't doing that.
Like, shit, man, if I'm into it, I need you to be into it too. I don't need the room to be spinning for you.
Right. Or at least remember you were here. Like, you, man, I was amazed though. Like, how the fuck did she get drunk? And, well, I mean, she didn't. I literally remember, bro. She didn't. Like, how you hear, how Pine Ridge steps, you hear everything. Yeah. I'm hearing somebody coming up the steps, but I'm like, damn, it's not like they're really coming up fast enough. And I went to the top step. She like crawling up the steps, drunk, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, how you even in this house, man?
Right.
I was so pissed at her because whatever I said to her wasn't worthy of getting slapped. I'm like, damn.
But I think that was the first time I ever smoked a joint was in that house.
Man,
I don't know if it was them that was there or not, but I remember it was some women there.
I know what you're talking about. That's when we had chicks from the town we was hanging with. Cause I remember that. Yeah, I remember you was first spoken because one of us tried to talk shit like he ain't spoken right. Like I'm thinking like,
oh yeah, I ain't know nothing about
right.
Yeah, and I had done it to try. That's the reason why I smoked it, was trying to impress them, and hopefully maybe I might get some. I had never ever. I went like 19, 20 years, never ever smoking no marijuana whatsoever, and I did it that one time trying to impress them, hoping I was gonna get some ass, and I still ain't getting no ass. So they got me hooked on some shit.
So ain't no results from it.
Yeah, I ain't getting no results from it. You know what I'm saying? But I got to say, for the most part, when we was there, I think that I believe me and you connected more than not to say we ain't had I ain't had no connection, nothing like that. With P and Kaya, but I think that we had while we was there, we had a stronger bond.
Yeah.
With each other versus, with P and Kaya. That's not to take anything from neither one of them.
Of course, it ain't no insult.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I just think that our personalities just clicked a little bit more. I don't know, because we both Geminis.
Both from the town.
Yeah, both from the town, because I ain't never rapped before until you tried to convince me to rap one time and shit. Like, I was horrible at the shit, but I was like, fuck, let me give it a try.
Yeah.
You from Inkster, you know how to talk shit. You can do this.
Right.
And I'm like, what? I guess I guess I can.
Right.
And I was horrible at the shit.
And we both were shit talkers.
Yeah, and it just.
Yeah, I forgot about it. I was trying to get y'all all to rap at one point.
Yeah.
I was so much into it. Like, man, what y'all got to do it with me? But shit, I had to boost my confidence, man. I ain't gonna lie.
No, you wasn't bad at all. You know what I'm saying? You wasn't bad whatsoever. I mean, your vocabulary was something different than the rest. The rest of ours, as far as being creative with it. You know what I'm saying? And I thought that you could have went somewhere with it if you really if you could have. You know what I'm saying? But just our similarities. Being from Inkster, coming to Taylor, being in the same apartment complex, or townhome complex, and then
being a big brother to a little sister.
Yeah,
a lot of connections, and then we both was just admitted on the court. We both was crazy. like we wasn't the calm ones on the court.
Like, right.
Even when I wanted to be, I was like, man, all it took is somebody to trigger me for another 10. Especially when I know we was better than them. Like, the nerve of you, dog.
Yeah.
So
man. Just.
I remember a few times I got kicked out of open gym when Coach Arnold punk ass was the coach.
Yeah.
He couldn't take, like, one time I remember, and I don't want to say homie name, but homie wasn't playing on our team, and me and him was getting into a heated battle. I just kept calling ISOs, and I just kept going at him hard. And every time I scored on him, I was like calling out his name and all that. And that's when I know Arnold didn't understand the culture, because like me and Courtney, that's what I'm talking about. We got into it, but Courtney was a hell of a shooter. He wasn't never known for D, so But we called each other bitches and hoes and all that. But it was all love. Like, me and Courtney, mad love for each other. We were never thinking to fight, but Arnold I guess from outside looking in, he like,
oh
these
yeah,
two kids about to really fight. So he kick, like, why you kicking me out?
right,
Like, why not
right.
shit? Like,
you know, that's just
yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like you said, you know, a lot of them, you know, didn't know don't know that type of culture
yeah.
on what it is that you know what it is that we do. It's like it's like back in the day when Martin had this skit in his comedy skit that you know you see a lion is put the cub in the mouth. It looked like it hurt, but that shit don't hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? We talking shit. It looks like it's offensive, but it ain't offensive. It's some unwritten rules in talking shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? You don't necessarily talk about nobody mama.
Nah.
You know, if they got kids, you know, talk shit about they mama, their wife, their kids.
Right.
You know, you try to find a different spot on what's gonna trigger them.
Yeah.
And then once you find that, and then once you hit that button, you don't let off that button. You just keep hitting that button.
They explode.
Yeah. You just keep hitting that motherfucking button.
That's how we fought with Chris, though, because like I said, we younger kids beating him, and you was letting it be known like almost every play. And he got fed up with that shit. And he the one. Like you might instigate him. He literally started. You know, he as far as putting your hands on somebody, trying to push or something. So as a grown ass man, you started like you couldn't take it. Like and y'all wasn't winning because if y'all was winning, you would have been able to take it better. But
right.
Nah, we ain't. Yeah,
you know, I always believe that I talk shit from the beginning to the end, regardless if you win or lose. The one thing I hate about talking shit is when someone finally winning and then they start talking shit.
Yeah.
Now, they talk the shit when it's 0-0.
Yeah.
Talk the shit when you losing and talk the shit when you don't talk the shit when you finally start winning.
Man.
You know, talk the shit. And the crazy part, man, I used to always picture us, you know, in basketball as being like a Jalen Rose and a Chris Webber.
Yeah. That's what you say. Yeah.
You know, I used to always look at the both of us as that because all right, well, shit, he light skinned, so he Jalen Rose.
He get Jalen. He can use his left too. So.
You know, I'll never forget the time you almost killed the varsity basketball coach. He was trying to teach you how to shoot.
Oh man! Like,
you had an awkward shot with both hands. I've never seen nobody be able to shoot and make the shit with both hands.
I was telling him like I'm even-handed, bro. I'm almost semi-confused what hand I was supposed to shoot with, so it's like a two-handed shot. And he was killing me, bro. Like, and he used to talk shit to people on the sideline. He like, Meeeech, against the man on man, he eats up everybody, gets to the hole, but when the zone comes, he don't know what to do. I'm like, bitch, I still get to get to the rack. I still do what I want to do. Just them showing days, man. As far as on the teams, it was bullshit every year I played. Like when you have literally somebody coming off the bench telling you like, I don't know why I'm starting over you. Like man, like and Jeff Cool, you know, every blue one we talked through Facebook might send each other a Michigan joke or something. Yeah. But that one of the best besides P, Jeff Benedict. Yeah, them like probably two of the best jumpers I've ever seen, like up close in person live. Like P and Jeff, man, wet. But Jeff used to say that shit in practice, like, I don't know why I'm starting over you, man. I used to get irritated with it, like, kind of shouldn't be. Like, not knocking him. His game was good, but like I know I was better at that time. Like, man.
But the one thing I always thought about, and it crossed my mind from time to time, is if, you know, when we was playing basketball like that, I believe that if we would have had the fathers that we became, to groom us, because we did everything just, on off a whim, and what we thought could have been right, and what we thought was good. But had we had the father figures that we are to us,
to give that extra push,
to give us that extra push, and constantly taking us to these different AAU tournaments,
doing drills with
us, all that shit like that. You know, I always tell myself we would have been a whole lot better than what we were, but we didn't have that. I mean, I know on my part, I didn't have that male figure to push me to play basketball. I just had a raw talent.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and I just didn't. all right, it's time to get your ass up 5:30 in the morning. We gotta get we gotta get to Indiana.
Yeah,
we gotta get here. We gotta get there.
We ain't do drills ourselves. Like we just hoops. You know what I'm saying?
That was it.
So yeah, we ain't had that extra push.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Because we all at least collegiate ready. If nothing else, collegiate. We all should have played it and was able to play in college. NBA a little different, especially me. You know, my height. I was more of a shooting guard, 5'10". It ain't happening, you know. But majority, and it could happen. I'm not saying it's a harder option, but college, we damn sure all could have played in college.
You know what I'm saying? If we would have had that same, if we would have had, like I said, if we would have had the father figures that we are to our children, you know what I'm saying? It definitely could have been a different. It definitely could have been a change if we would have played, or if we would have not have played. But it definitely would have been some type of structure.
Yeah.
That, you know, we just get up and go play. We just get up and go. We ain't do the 1,000 jump shots before games and after games and things like that. All right, we done. We about to go.
We wasn't tight really that as much as we hoop. We wasn't tight just be walking around the hood, dribbling the basketball, offhand and little shit like that. No, we just hoop. You know, we craft our skill as we was playing, but we ain't do the extra, like you said, the drills and everything else.
You know, and I think that, you know, because you got, how many kids you got?
3.
You got 2 boys and a girl? Or?
2 boys and a girl.
Yeah. You know, and you know, having those kids, what did that change about Meeeech?
It made me grow up fast, man. And sometimes I used to live life in the fast lane or try to get fast money. As you say, 2 + 2 = 4. Having kids humble me, and then especially by having a girl, man. Like, I had my 2 boys first, and then once I had my daughter, it was like, oh shit, okay, like everything got to change. Like, no, because my daughter's always detailed. Even if she's young, she's always one paying attention to everything. You know what I'm saying? If you change the piece of hair of your beard, she gonna notice it. Like so it's like, oh man, like she's always watching me. You know what I'm saying? My boys, of course, you're a man, so you trying to groom young princes to be kings. So they humble me. They made me appreciate hard work. Made me learn how to communicate better. Because I don't lie, like the first few years, my boys, especially when they was a little younger, I thought, because none of us had dads. So like I told them, I'm learning all this on the fly.
Right.
I thought I had to be tougher than I needed to be on them. And then within a few years, I learned communication is key, especially with this generation. Like, tough as you want, and then they bottle up when they have shit going on. They ain't gonna talk to you about it. So, so, it taught me a lot, man. I love it. Like, especially, I like my situation having my girl last, my 2 boys, because she got 2 protectors over, you know what I'm saying, always. And I love it. And my boys, crazy it is, they 19 to 17. I know most people can't say this, most brothers can't say this. They never fought, man.
Oh, wow.
Which is, no, we fought. We brothers. We just fought before, argue like that. When I say fought, they never even argue with each other. Like, they always got along A1. Like, daughter get along with now when she was younger, like, say 10, 12 years ago. Like, I could be in my room, my boys can be in the room. I can tell when my daughter entered the room with them without even have to seeing anything, because you would just start hearing a bunch of riff-raff and them getting frustrated and them yelling and saying stop and leave me alone. I'm like, man, they were just by each other for 4 hours. Ain't that, like, kid, get out the room. Right. Like, so, but yeah, it humbled me. Taught me hard work, made me grow up, man. Like, even though I had my kids a little older than the majority of us, my first, I was 29 when I had my first, but
damn.
Yeah.
You was 29 with the first one?
Yeah. Damn. Yeah. I remember, it's funny, I remember back in the days, bro, mainly telling Vicky, because, Peter Vicky had a child back then when we were still semi-young, we call it. And I remember telling Vicky, like, I want a baby, but man, if I don't have a baby by the time I turn 25, I'm not having no kids. And I was in my head stuck to I ain't having no kids. Like I said, when you 17, 18, what we just said, talking about earlier, like, you think 30 years old, and then you 30, 40. I'm like, so at that time, I'm like, man, after 25, it's probably too old to have a kid, not knowing no better. But started at 29. It's funny, I was telling one of my cousins, like, when I was 28, like, man, I'm 28. What 28 black man, can say they don't have kids and never been to jail. And boom, 3 straight. It's like 4 years later, like, oh, now you got 3, nigga.
I mean, but I guess, if you would have had them much sooner, could the relationship been different? You know what I'm saying? As far as not being as mature?
Yeah, it could have been.
You know what I'm saying?
It would have been a lot different, though, because, like I said, again, you grow up without a father or too many male figures. a lot of that stuff you learning on the fly, you learn yourself. So being younger and more immature, it probably would have been a good thing. Only good thing about when it came out, I would have been able to whip my son ass in basketball before I got a little too older. Because my youngest son, he not really into sports. My oldest, he pretty tall, he played pretty good, and when he tried to challenge me, I was like, man, we could do a shooting contest. I'm not about to actually get out there and play you because, like I be telling him, you're not seeing the way your daddy play. I'm gonna play old man bully ball, post you, and like that ain't how I played when I was younger. Though, so
I don't have a vertical. I don't have a vertical to go up over you no more.
right. Like I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna elbow you. I'm gonna do a little dirty shit.
I'm gonna be like Magic. Phantom Files.
Right, exactly. Every time, like, so for your sake, you might just want to shoot with me, So yeah, but
yeah, I mean, because I it's crazy because I had my stepdaughter. I've been in her life since she was like 4 or 5 years old. Then I had my two. Then I had my two kids who are girls as well.
Yeah.
So I've always been forever the only guy in the house. When I was with my grandparents, it was my grandmother and my auntie. Then when I came home with my mother, then it was me and my sister.
Okay.
And then when I started raising my own family, it was my ex-wife, her daughter, then my two daughters. Our two daughters we had together. You know what I'm saying? But I never had, I never had that father figure in the household.
Yeah.
So when I finally became a father, everything was on a teaching curve. You know what I'm saying? But shit, okay, all right. Like you said before, I can't be too damn stern because I got one daughter that's just gonna just clam up and she ain't gonna say nothing.
I gotcha.
Well, all of them will clam up and then I said, all right, now I gotta figure out how do I get the most out of this?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To keep them in tune because it's like it's actually like cats and dogs.
Man.
Because a dog, no matter how much you talk down on this, not talk down on this dog, but no matter how much you raise your voice at this dog, the dog's still gonna be waiting at you at the door for you.
Right.
But if you got a cat and you raise your voice at this cat or do anything to this cat will never come back home. this cat will never, if it do come home, this cat will never come back. It will never come near you. You know what I'm saying? And they don't have no problem being, and that's how, and in a way, that's how girls are. Man. If you a father, that you can't be, no matter how you could have been the illest nigga in the hood.
Yeah.
And you get a daughter, now you the softest motherfucker that anybody has ever seen.
And it's hard. It's when you have both. It's hard. You really got to communicate, especially with me. Like I got to let my boys know sometimes why am I harder on y'all than I am on her. Like a few incidents where they probably was looking like, well, damn, you grilled us, but you kind of like, no, I talked to her too, but it's more on a personal, private level. Like y'all didn't catch the wrath for her, and it's different. You know what I'm saying? So it's way more. I can't tell her I can punch you in your chest. like ain't no threat. Like with them, like. As a man, period, sometimes you can put on a demeanor that's going to be intimidating.
Nigga, what's wrong with you? Right. I can't say, bitch, what's wrong with
you? like even if I put
that
on,
just ends everything now.
And even if I put on that intimidation fact, like with my boys,
can't do it.
They know, like at the end of this, it's a good chance Pops could hit me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like Southern Wolf tickets. Like whatever, you ain't gonna do shit.
You can't do it. And one of my things is like I used to tell people all the time. I never made a habit, or I could probably count on one hand how many times I literally had to like whoop my kids.
Okay, see.
You know what I'm saying? Because I never wanted my daughters to have the belief that when I do something wrong, it's okay for a man to hit me.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So my daddy ain't never hit me when I did something so-called wrong.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna take it when I do something so-called wrong in your eyes that you're gonna hit me too. You know what I'm saying? So I never made it I very rarely, if at all, with my kids. I never wanted them to feel like, okay, I deserve that.
Right. I feel you. I never with mine either, but with mine, I got 3 kids by 2 different women. My oldest is by one, my youngest is by another, and their mothers like whooped through. So I felt like, hey, your mother give you that part, like I don't have to give that part though. And then kind of like I was more the cooler head out the situations, like you know what I'm saying? No. not all women. Some can be more animated. Sometimes you have to be with your kids. You have to yell and scream a little bit more as a woman. Some do. Like my mama had to do that shit. She just give me a look. But some do. With me, like, okay, you get that from them. I don't have to do that too. Like, we gonna talk it out. Like, I would take shit from you. Like, shit, I know you like all kids love electronic devices. No, you can't play that game. That might hurt you more than that whooping you was gonna get. So, just like me, I grew up. I didn't get whoopings, but I got them. I got yelled at, and I remember going outside with my homies. I to this day, I tell those kids, they're like, "Oh, you lucky you ain't get no whooping." I was like, "Well, I just got yelled at. That shit hurt my feelings. Like that whooping went away that pain went away 5 minutes later. Like what they just said to me, I'm still thinking about that shit."
Yeah, so, I remember when even as a kid, my mother used at one point, my mother used to hit me and my sister's hand with a belt.
Okay.
And shit, as I got older, I was shit. Go ahead.
Now you got fast up there.
Yeah, go ahead. I mean, at one point we used to get ass whoopings, but then when we got older, it's like, give me your hand. All right, here go the hand. Hit the hand with the belt. Boom, boom.
You got a spot for college football at your crib back in the days.
Man.
Bill Wash football.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody used to be at your spot.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I used to have I got hooked on the game system when I was in like elementary, like probably like the 6th grade. I had ended up getting a Nintendo because Kai and them, they had the whole entire Nintendo hookup. They had the Nintendo game and the robot.
Oh damn! Okay,
I don't know if you remember the robot.
Yeah, that gyro mic game. I know what you're talking
about.
It
was something, but they had the whole entire hookup. And my mother ended up getting me the Nintendo for Christmas. And all I had was Mario Brothers.
Okay.
And boy, you talking about going to sleep in class every morning?
So you was on that boy.
I was on the game till 3-4 o'clock in the morning. Get up at 6 o'clock 7 o'clock in the morning to go to school. I'll be in class knocked the hell out because I got this damn. I got this game that my mother ended up getting me and shit, and I was just ever since then. I've been hooked on the game system. I ain't hooked on it like I was then today, but I've had a game system ever since probably like between 85, 87. I've had damn near almost.
Yeah, same here. Yeah. Our generation kind of experienced all the systems. Started from the Atari. Our generation and seen all the systems. So yeah,
man. But when we was coming up and like I said, when we was coming up in Taylor, man, and we went from playing basketball with each other on a regular to moving in with each other and dealing with each other's bullshit on a regular. I remember when we first moved in, we woke up that first morning together, you know what I'm saying? And it was the first time I ever had my own place together. I woke up, I can't remember what song it was, but I remember waking up and it may have been a Michael Jackson song.
Okay.
And woke up and blasting Michael Jackson throughout the house and singing Michael Jackson throughout the house when we all first moved together. Yeah. but it was the first time that, of independence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like when I was at home with my mom, I couldn't wake up in the morning and turn the radio off and just sing and do what the fuck I wanted to do at that time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And even from then, to this day, that we stay in touch from time to time. You know what I'm saying? If not seeing each other on the regular, but we, do our best, to stay in touch, from time to time, even when I worked in Inkster.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Used to scare my kids. Be at the house, the kids come like, hey, Dad, there's a cop in front of your house. I'm like, a cop? What the hell, a cop going in front of my house? And I go look like, man, that's Mo, man. Like, get used to that face, man. Like, he's a jokester.
Yeah, man. And then even just coming to, to the podcast today, man. It's always good to be able to know that I can continue to count on you, and any other rebel, including Quick that don't want to come on the podcast, got to come on the podcast one day. Because if everybody else come on this podcast and you don't show up on this podcast, you're kicked out the rebel group. We will know we will cease and desist all communication with you.
We gonna get quick on here. You're a real one too. That's why I wore one of these shirts today because I was telling Quick about it. Like, I have posted me and my little nephew with these little Roots hoodies on. And you was the first person you called me instantly, like, I want to order some. I'm like, that's my dog. I'm like, that's not my clothing line though, man. I'm like, but I appreciate that. Like, no, bro, he had me if it was my clothing line.
Right.
Yeah, it's a sort of, he was in Fairlane like 30 years ago. It's only in Canada now.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yeah, but I didn't, this like my main gift for everybody in my family, like, oh, Mother's Day coming, oh, birthday coming, about to buy your Roots shirt. Like, it's funny, like my 3 kids, my oldest son, his last name is Root, so I had bought him one, and I was joking with my youngest son because he got his mother last name.
Okay.
He was kind of looking, I don't know that little kid get like, you just gave my brother shirt with mine. I'm like, oh, you can't have this shirt, man. Like, your last name ain't Roots, man. You don't get this privilege.
Right. And matter of fact, because you moved back to Inkster though, right?
Yep.
And how is it? What made you move back to Inkster and then stay in Inkster?
Well, I had moved to Belleville because I was working at the time. It's called Excel at the time. Now it's DHL.
Yeah.
I had worked there for 15 years, but when I was working in the one in Belleville, I got an opportunity through a coworker. She was trying to leave a place and she wanted someone to take over these apartments, and it's right down the street from the job. It's just very convenient. So went to Belleville, then unfortunately
the fire happened.
Yeah, the fire happened. And
I think you was on the news, wasn't it?
Yeah. I didn't realize how distinctly my voice was until the episode because I had some people calling me like, I wouldn't even watch the news, but I just heard it. I heard your voice. So like, yeah, man, that was me, dog. There, and I'm not no one to each his own, man. But I never smoked cigarettes. I probably did one summer 30 years ago and didn't. I was giving them to everybody, but the lady was smoking a cigarette, fell asleep, burned down the whole complex.
Yeah.
I was so pissed because I had just transitioned from the warehouse to just in the office work. So, when I was in the warehouse, a young black dude had street clothes, and I didn't have a bunch of casual attire. So, me going to the office, I had to go buy a bunch of casual attire. I didn't get a chance to wear one slack, one bow tie, nothing. Like, everything burnt up. Like, man, my oldest was just starting kindergarten. So, went and bought him those clothes for school. Only thing that didn't burn up was my PlayStation 3. And I had a pair of Air Maxes. That was right by the door. I was like, this is the only thing that didn't burn. But man. So when that happened, no, I'm out of house. I'm out everything. I don't even know my next move was gonna be. Red Cross Blue Shield, placed me in hotels for a few weeks, but ended up coming back to Inkster then and ended up getting a crib my old auntie lived at, which was across the street from my mother.
Yeah.
And for the last 6 years, I actually got a house right next door to my mother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's cool. Work out. No, that's my dog. I love moms, and it just be double duty. Like yesterday, I cut the grass, so dog can't just cut my yard.
Right.
But yeah,
you missed one.
Right. Exactly. So, but yeah, it's cool. I moved back to Inkster since then, and no, I want no cat. No, a lot of people don't like Inkster or have a lot bad to say about it. No, it's a place I know everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I rocks with it. No, I ain't like I gotta. That's what you get a car for to leave Inkster when you need to. But yeah. But when I'm back, like, it's our family. Like, my mama next door, my auntie was living around the corner until she moved around. This other auntie passed who shared the same birthday as you, was standing across the street. So it is our family net together, and still got a lot of family members right literally in that area.
But, I think that's one thing that, a lot of people don't understand with Inkster is Inkster is a city full of families. Everybody in Inkster, for the most part, is related to somebody in Inkster.
Yeah, you know them or you know of them. At least,
yeah, you know what I'm saying. You know this family here. You know the Orrs, the Gores, the Williams, the Joneses.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying. Do you know that? You're like, well, yeah, that's this side of my family, and that's this side of my family. Everybody in Inkster is I did kind of like a I remember when I was in school and had to write papers and shit like that. I did a paper, on Inkster.
Yeah.
And what I had found out was that Inkster was founded by the guy last name was Inkster, but I think he was part of the Ford family somehow. And when people came up from the South, they came to Inkster to work for those that were working for Ford. Ford came up with to put them in Inkster because couldn't live in Dearborn. They didn't want no black folks in Dearborn. And then, and then Dearborn Heights came to play because Dearborn Heights was a buffer between Inkster and Dearborn. They didn't even want Inkster touching Dearborn.
So
that's the reason why how Dearborn Heights geographics is the way it is. That little part of Dearborn Heights is right there, because it used to be Inkster, and now that part of Dearborn Heights was like Robichaud, and right there it all is. That's that buffer for Inkster. But Inkster used to be a real thriving city because everybody worked for Ford, and Ford was paying everybody $5. I don't know if it's $5 a day or $5 an hour. And Inkster used to have a shitload of wealthy black families in Inkster. So that's why you see some of the houses the way that they are, in certain areas. Well, I can't say certain areas now, but some of the houses, the way the houses are that look, I guess, somewhat luxurious or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a lot of money in Inkster because you had a lot of black families from the South moving to Inkster, working at Ford, making a lot of money.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because it was I'm not sure if it was necessarily incorporated in the 20s, but it became Inkster in the 20s, and it became a city in the 60s.
Okay.
So Inkster as a city is still fairly young.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Yeah. So Inkster.
Hey, let me tip the jar, man, before I forget.
Oh man.
My memory ain't the greatest, so when stuff on the mind, I gotta add to that.
So man, like I said, man, our history, our friendship, our brotherhood, is runs deep.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The shit runs deep.
We got the kind of relationship where even if, say, 3 years went by, I ain't heard one word from you. Next time I see you, it's like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and the crazy part is, man, and people, I don't know, I think a lot of people take advantage of this, is that people take advantage or don't realize, how important, friendships really are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How brotherships, really are. Like, some people say you can't pick your blood family. I believe something. You can't pick your extended family. You know what I'm saying? Because I ended your life, you ended my life without even knowing that we were going to end each other's life. And then we stayed in each other's life, not knowing that we were going to be in each other's life this long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because, granted, I was like, man, I ain't about to fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? And vice versa, like it is. You know what I'm saying? Shit, man, you a good guy.
Rebel for life, my dog. Yeah, just right back at you, man.
And one of these days I'm gonna get Quick on here, because even though Quick don't want to be on here, he
said they do a Rebels reunion.
Yeah, but that's code word for bullshit.
We gonna get Quick on here, man.
I talk to Quick almost every other day or so. At least once every other week.
Yeah, Quick's out the Rebels. He the one I talk to the most, and it's almost like when he called me, it's almost like I can answer if I got more than 20 minutes to talk, because ain't never no just quick call. I would look like, all right, man, I would have went back. So, like, I could him and I got a cousin like that, like a particular cousin. If I see them call me, I got like, well, I got at least good 20, 30 minutes free. If I don't, then I text like, I'll call you back, man, because we just talking about the Pistons. We text during the game, so like I ain't one of the main people I text and see what the hell going on, or sometimes he'd text me or I text him and we behind. Like, hey man, I'm only in the first quarter. Like I done paused and ran somewhere. So like, don't tell me shit. I'll text you when I catch up. Like, yeah. So, but Rebels for life, man.
All the time, Rebels for life, man. All the time, Rebels for life, man.
And this extended. There's a lot of us. It's more than just the main one. People know, like the Hoopers. No, it's extended. Like it's a lot of us. Like
but the core,
nucleus,
the core. I put our core up against anybody else's core, at any time. And what I wanted to say earlier was that when we were playing when we was on the basketball court like that, playing with you and P and Quick, made it easier for me to be able to talk that shit. It made it easier for me to. I just focused on defense.
Yeah.
I just focused on grabbing rebounds And
do your famous Texas two-step doing it?
Oh shit!
You gotta get that off.
I mean, shit, couldn't nobody stop it. And I had more moves than what people say. Those are the memorable moves that I had.
Yeah,
I had one that I would go up like I was going for a layup, and then I would bring the ball back down, and they would swipe above, and I would bring it back up, and I would lay up again.
Okay.
So that was one. Didn't nobody
ever? Not as famous as the Texas two-step.
Shit. I mean, the Texas two-step was the best.
That was the most controversial move. Every time
that shit was only 1.5 steps. But it was just long strides.
When you do it, it's like here come the shit talking after. Somebody gonna say travel.
Nah.
You gonna say you not. Then like, okay, now we started.
But shit, James Harden traveled, but they ain't no call him for travel. Yeah. LeBron, all he do was travel. It was just a 1.5 steps. It was just a long stride. It was a long stride on purpose.
Do you think that was your most successful move?
No, I think it wasn't the greatest crossover, but I think the first step it was a quick first step. The first step would be either left or right. I go this way, and you would come with. And I heard him come back this way, and I get to the basket.
Because technically, you was playing the center position for us, and you fast. You know, so technically, pretty sure you was always faster than the person you was going against. You were just playing center for us because you was the best rebound, taller, bigger person for us. But we had two little versions of the Rebels, though. Like, we all had new, like I said, we had the Waymans and Homeboy and Tree at a few times and a few people with us. But that 1-5, I would tell Quick this because my game changed on it. When it be me, UP, the line, and Quick. Mm-hmm. That 5.
That's always the nucleus when we talk about that. And I mean, not to take anything from nobody else, but when they say, I never recognize anybody else as being a true rebel. Not to take anything away from them, not to take anything away from Wayne or Tree or the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Not to take anything, but they just their game just didn't fit our game, and we didn't play with them on a regular every day. Well, I think Wayman may have been the one that we played the most with on a regular, but everybody else we didn't play that much with on a regular.
We had two sets though. We had the one with Lon, P, me, you, and Quick. I'm talking about where. Because Lon was the shortest on the team. Lon and P played more of a guard role. Quick more small forward, where I was more in the paint with you. But then we had another version where I can actually be what I wanted to be a guard, which I like both roles, don't get me wrong, but the other ones when Red played with us.
Oh, yeah.
You and Red, I ain't have to play in the paint. Y'all gonna get every fucking rebound, block every shot. I didn't need to do that. So now I can actually, like, PM on that wing. This is why I wanted to be on the wing because, you know, me, I mainly wanted to penetrate. And if you're on my left, I'm going to go right. You're on my right, I'm going to go left. Like, it depends on how you play off of it. But so we had both of them, like with Line, we was quicker, faster. I can play a different role. And at one point, Line wasn't around us for a few years, and Red took that spot.
Yeah.
And we became bigger. Like, almost like you almost could be the power forward or the center, and Red could be the other. And then I went to a different role. So that's the two versions on top of it that was all the nukes. Everybody else to me was, not saying extras in a bad way, but like they just add-ons with us. You know, whoever, because everybody wanted to play with us.
Man. Yeah. That was something like you say. Everybody wanted to play with us until they actually played with us, and then like you know what I'm saying,
we hold each other accountable.
Yeah, we would hold each other accountable. Like, and the crazy part is we wouldn't take it personal between me, you, and P. We wouldn't take it personal, but then if we said something to someone else, they would take it personal sometimes. Yeah. And then that would just throw off all type of shit. Like, you know what, man, you just gonna be the extra when somebody else ain't here. Yeah, that was the line ain't here. All right, come on.
That's the thing I like.
We ain't here. All right, come on.
Yeah, we hold each other accountable. There was a few times we argue with each other on the court and go nowhere, and there's all honest, like, hey man, you bullshitting on defense. Yeah. Like, well, I am right now.
Like, I ain't realized, but all right, let me step this up.
That just made us play better, man. Yeah. So,
because you know, because the reason why it's crazy, because the reason why I didn't mind playing defense, grabbing rebounds, and doing all that hustling shit, because I used to be, even though Jordan was the best, and I used to love Isaiah Thomas, the one player that I actually idolized was Dennis Rodman.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because he scored 2 points a game.
Was still effective.
Yeah, and was still effective. And that's all I want. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be able to grab these rebounds, do this, do that, talk shit, do and do me because I ain't gotta worry about shooting. Meeeech and P gonna do majority of the shooting. But I knew one goddamn thing for sure. If there was ever a breakaway layup, if it was ever a breakaway layup and they quick had the ball, normally if it was UP line breakaway layup, all right, I can stay back here for defense. But if it was quick, all right, I got to run down here quick because it's a good chance he ain't gonna make this damn layup by himself, and I got to clean up and put this ball back in the basket.
Yeah, that should be crazy. Miss a layup, then make a 40-foot three. Yeah, how you just do that, man?
And the shit used to baffle the hell out of me.
Yeah, that shit was.
Now, if he spotted up for an open shot, I can stay back and be like, hey, that's going in. That's wet. That's butter. That's panties. That's whatever you want to call it. But a breakaway layup with quick, that ain't guaranteed.
Yeah, we used to make each other play better because I just think me one time, quick talk about to this day, I kind of fucked them up because we was playing. I was going against him this particular game, and I was like, man, you can't dribble right. You gonna dribble one time and pick it back up. Watch, like you can't go right. And he like after that shit, he's like, well, goddamn, how did you know all that shit? I'm like I used to watch that shit, like pay attention.
But that was one of the things that I really liked about your game was that you used to analyze everybody.
Yeah,
you used to analyze everybody. If we had next or whatever it was, and you was watching everybody play, and then you would come back with a damn scouting report.
Right. Because remember, I ain't played 21 when y'all played. I didn't really care for 21. I just watched the game. Yeah, I remember that. Like, hey, man, he can't shoot. He can't go left. He ain't no defender. Blah blah blah.
Right.
I mean, quick, you was like, hey, you just got all that. Like, cause y'all over there playing 21 warming up as most people do. Like, I ain't getting out for 21, man. I just a bunch of hacking follow that nigga. Especially when you get 19, everybody go 10 people want to hug you. Like, I got the reason to warm up for it, but I would prefer just to dribble and watch the game to see what's going on. So yeah. I had a homie Red, one Red boys. I used to hoop with Red, his boy Dre, and I hooped for him for over 2 years, and one day he saw me writing on my right hand. He like, nigga, you not left-handed? I'm like, nah. I thought you was left-handed all this time. Like, no, just it's a move I use because majority of people not left-handed, so they're not expecting it. So yeah, man, them days was, man, we played football. I actually thought you was better at football. Just know football is something you can't pick up people on the streets to go do. You need
football. You gotta. You gotta play football from Pee Wee all the way up. And the crazy part is I used to want to play football, but in the Pee Wee leagues, you had to be a certain weight.
Yeah.
And I was always heavy. I was always bigger. Even if we was all the same, I was always heavy and big. It's like, well, you weight, you can't play. Yeah, you can't play. But basketball had always been my first love. Because when I was a kid in Inkster, I was like 9 years old. In Inkster. And at Woodson Elementary School basketball courts. And I used to go up there every day at 9 years old trying to call next.
Okay.
Trying to call and at Woodson, you had everybody in Lamone Gardens.
Hell yeah.
You had everybody in the house, in the neighborhood, in the house. You had everybody at Woodson, playing because they had like 3 courts. Two or three courts.
All the dope boys, everybody up there.
And they had the little awning or whatever over the over the picnic table.
Yeah.
And I used to be out there in the court. I used to be out there every single day trying to play basketball. I was like 9 years old. I had a basketball in my hand, trying to play basketball. And I remember this day, I went up there to play basketball, and I called next, and they were like, "Little fella got next." And then my grandmother and auntie came and picked me up to go to the goddamn store.
Damn. Finally got your chance.
Finally had my chance, and they came and picked me up to go to the damn store. And I wanted to say no. But I couldn't say no because I wasn't. Because in their eyes, I wasn't old enough to stay home by myself. I was like, damn, this is the chance I had. I'll never forget that I had the perfect opportunity at 9 years old to play basketball. To be honest with you, man, I got a shitload of. I used to collect basketball cards.
I still do. I still got some from 89, 90. That's what I collected them.
Yeah, I got that shit. I got these right here.
Okay, I got a shoebox of cards from 89 and 90. Yeah, I got these 3 right here.
The whole dream team.
I got these, bro.
I got this right here. That's how much I was in the. That's how much I was in the back, and I got another shoebox full of basketball cards.
Yeah, we used to buy used to buy cars at one point all the time. Only 1 year, 89, 90.
Yeah.
So all my cars is from that time.
Yeah, excuse the dust.
Oh shit. Hopefully you can get them become valuable because I don't know what to do with mine. Like,
yeah, I'm trying to, so I mean, I got 2 of these, and I got a shoebox full of them.
okay, I even got 89, 90. The Jordan car where he wore number 12. I don't know if you remember, he played in Orlando and someone stole his jersey.
Someone took his jersey. Yeah. I had that car, but I think my cousins took that car or something.
But I had them 89, 90, man. I tried to give them to my kids probably like 10 years ago. Then they fucked up a couple of them. Like they bought them and playing with them. I'll give me that shit back. Take all that back. Like, nah.
But I think our relationship, our friendship, our brotherhood really stem from, actual, sports, playing basketball, dealing with everything, with basketball. In basketball, if you ask me, basketball, with y'all kind of also saved me. Because at any given point in the Ridge, I could have been out there selling dope as well, and just to have people that have something in common with me, because it's easy to want to do something, then not have nobody to have anything in common with you, and then you do as they say when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Yeah,
it's easy for it would be easy for me to like, well, fuck it, anybody else playing basketball with me, might as well go out here and sell dope too.
You know what's sweet, bro? I ain't gonna say who because it get you exposed into their life at that time. But I remember one particular time I tried to go stand on the rail. Somebody gave me a little sack. I caught myself standing on the rails, and these two OGs, it was like, man, go take your ass to the basketball court, bro. They said it like so serious. So I was like, if I don't know what's about to happen next. Right. So I was like, okay, and I was like, man, I just got this sack. I need my money. They actually took he bought my sack off me. And like, now get the fuck on. I'm like, okay, somebody tell me this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
I had reasons I was trying to do it. It was around me for a hot second. My life, I was saying the older cats that I was around doing it, and it's fast money. So I was thinking like, okay, let me try this. But nah, they ain't let me that one time. That was enough to keep me stirred. Then, like you say, the rebels came in life and shit. Oh, we had time to get in trouble, man. We hooped. Like play video games, hoops. Try to figure out what the hell we was gonna eat for that day.
I mean, from sun up to sundown. Like, you know what I'm saying? We get up. All right, we playing, we hooping. Yeah, from sun up, and by the time we get home, we dog tired.
Might play a video game, then we out the hoop. Then by the weekend, hit a club.
Yeah,
still gonna hoop first though. Like we hoop, man. Like every day, bro. Like
that's all it was just hooping, man, and just hooping and just hooping and just hooping and just hooping. Yeah. Forming a brotherhood and a bond that to this day, I believe can't be broken.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? Because we used to talk shit to one another. This used to be the crazy part. We used to talk shit to one another, and then we'll be then find like, man, this motherfucker, this, that, and the third. Then they call, they still come back, and such talking about. What do you say? Oh, he already told me that shit already.
Now, we're so cutthroat, man. Like, y'all gave me tough skin. I'll give y'all that. Because, when I was in the town, like, hanging with my homies, like, we didn't do that shit talking with each other that often. We ain't do that. We just solid, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when I came to Taylor, we started getting amongst each other. Now they call it lying. We call it capping, talking about each other back then. Like, I had to, basically, like you say, you got to get on the bus and get rolled over. Yeah. Man. It's like, no. Like, damn. But it was like, cutthroat. Like, well, damn, he just said that shit. Like, I gotta go hard now. Like, what the fuck he just said? Yeah. And there was no hose bar with any of us, right? Don't do nothing stupid around somebody else. That's what I say. No. It's gonna get talked about forever.
Yeah. You gonna hear about it, and then some people gonna hear. Like, did you hear what he said? Oh yeah, he already said. We talked about that shit already.
Like you getting the edited version.
We already went through all that shit. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't, man. And it wasn't no different. But the one elephant in the room that I think that everybody want to know about was when you shared a room with Kaya. What was that like?
Dog. It's funny y'all say that because I don't know if you seen my text. I was watching UMPs.
Yeah.
Y'all talk about the bed situation. Y'all said no names. I'm like, put names on that shit, man. Like, that shit's funny to me. Like, Kaya's my dog. Sharing a room with Kaya wasn't bad at all. Like, I think everyone else looked at it more, the big bed to the little bed.
Yeah, we looked at that shit like, damn.
But you got, like, when he first got that bed, like, he told me he was getting it. He asked me that of mine. Like, I didn't care. Like, now I came from instant sleeping in a twin bed. So what I had was normal for me. I didn't know the bed's going to be that big. When I saw it, when I saw it, I'm like, goddamn, like, is Prince Hakeem over here? I'm like, shit. But I didn't, like, me and Kaya, we knew each other. We didn't thoroughly know each other until that experience, living, technically roommates there. But me and Kaya rocked with each other, I had no issues with him. The room was junky, but I was junky, like we was young. So
maybe because everybody put their clothes in your room.
I was about to say that too. Like, you think we had the room with the master bedroom, so that big old closet, all our clothes was in there, and our room stayed junky.
Because I believe I had a dresser drawer that everybody shared. As far as like all they t-shirts and they pants and stuff like that, because that damn dresser drawer, the drawer started breaking and shit on that motherfucker. You pull the damn thing out and your clothes in the drawer.
Yeah, like it was crazy, But that experience with Kyle, it was cool. Like it kind of worked for us because for some reason I don't know, remember our work schedules, but I don't remember us both there a lot at the same time. Now it was a few times where one of us be there like, hey, I need the room. I got covered. Like shit. And the other went to sleep in the living room for the night, which niggas ain't mind that either. But it wasn't bad. Like that whole experience was straight. Then remember, sometimes I was the one that sometimes I might live with y'all, but I might go to Inkster for about 3 weeks. And go and pop back up.
I think that was much later on though. I think that was much later on because I think that was around the time that P was getting back with Vicky.
It could have been. I just don't know.
Because I found myself gone for some days at a time too.
Yeah, I think my roots was just still in Inks at the time. Like at that time, then I didn't have a car, so sometimes I might go out there and I just might be stuck out there for a day or two. But then I had a few homies in Inks that I was trying to cater them too because they was kind of salty because our relationships and basically like my homies and things like damn his relationship and Taylor got so strong with these cats he forgot about us he's selling us out like bro like Taylor ate Beverly Hills man
right no it really
make it think like I went out there and Boys to Men became my best friend so like bro like calm down bro but y'all was my brothers man like and show mad love and with the sports, man, like basketball, I didn't realize how good we was. I remember an incident with Marlo. We was at open gym, and Kai, you know how you shoot for first pick?
Yeah.
Kai had first pick, and I don't remember who the other person was, but one person picked P. Then Kai went to go pick Curtis, his boy. And P was like, me and Marlo was like, no, pick Meeech. And Kai was like, no, I'm going to pick Curtis. And Marlo got mad as fuck, like, don't let P and Meeech on the same fucking thing. Shit, we trying to keep the split. I was sitting thinking, like, in my head, like, damn, is it that serious, man? Like,
that's serious.
I'm like, okay, we actually made it.
Right.
We're a good squad. But going to the open gyms with our whole five, and then just watching everybody on the court, how they facial react, I was like, damn, these niggas here.
Hell man,
yeah. The club scene was the shit, man.
Yeah.
That shit. Could dance for shit, but you couldn't. What made you think of it just one day? Doing
the podcast?
Yeah.
I was just sitting down watching TV and I was looking at the bar. And like, well, shit. How can I make this work for me?
Okay.
How can I make the bar work for me? Because it's a bar, but I can't tell everybody, hey, I got a bar. Y'all want to come over?
Okay.
We can sit over here. We can sit over here and do it. Nah, you know what I'm saying? So I had to come up with, I could make this to a podcast and make the bar a part of the podcast too, as far as the background with the pictures or the liquor bottles and stuff like that, and make it as something.
Okay.
I kind of got the idea from watch the show The Chi.
Yeah.
When they first started doing The Chi, they incorporated the city of Chicago into it and made the city of Chicago a character as well.
Yeah.
Not now. It's starting to get watered down now.
I had stopped watching that probably about the third season or maybe the fourth, so I ain't never watched the last one.
But the first few seasons, first 2-3 seasons, you can see Chicago play the city of Chicago was like a character itself in the city. And I was like, well, how can I make, what can I do to make, a podcast? And I was like, well, shit, I can do this and make the bar a part of the character as well.
Dope.
So that's why I don't really do like online podcasts.
Okay.
So because you got to be here to get the effect of
it. Yeah, most definitely.
You know what I'm saying?
It's better that way anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some other people podcasts where I had to get my laptop and live stream it with them.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And which was cool, but this just isn't my necessarily my avenue right now.
Gotcha.
So then I came up with another piece where I do like a small clip where I did Jasmine Crockett on Capitol Hill, talking about how she be going in on Trump and all them. The Menendez brothers, you know what I'm saying? They about to get it, they trying to get them out of prison.
So they got a Netflix thing. I ain't never trying to watch it.
Yeah, they trying to get them out of prison. They got life without the possibility of parole, but the judges allowed them to do a re-sentence and then charge them with manslaughter, which allows them to get out of prison. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't because they were wrongfully convicted.
Right.
They was rightfully convicted. They shot their parents 16 times with shotguns and reloaded. You know what I'm saying? I did another one with I just do like a lot of small clips. I did one with just last night. I did it with older men dating younger men and older women, older women dating younger men as well. You know how people are dating at these different ages and stuff like that. So I just been trying to come up with all type of different shit. But
inspired by Shannon Sharp.
Yeah, to be honest with you, yeah. I mean that was inspired by Shannon Sharp. The podcast as a whole, inspired by even with Shannon Sharp. You know what I'm saying? Minus his bullshit that whatever he is he going through.
Right.
You say growing up in Inkster and you had to let your friends had to let your guys know in Inkster it wasn't no love lost and it wasn't
right. No, like I just got some real brothers out here and like they fit my mold better. Like what I was trying not to be or get away from. Like in Inkster, one point hanging with the wrong crowd and I was drinking like a lush, man. I was just doing too much and wasn't doing shit with myself, man.
Yeah.
Like no hobbies, no trying to better myself. Wasn't even trying to get a job for a hot minute. Like it was just cool to be in the hood and do dumb shit. And came out here with y'all and like shit. Y'all hoping, everybody trying to work, y'all more together and stable, which I said y'all wasn't trying to be in the streets, hurting anybody, harming anybody with the dumb stuff. Like remember, and Inkster at one point, I was in there. No, people don't know now, but it was gangs when we was younger. You had 3 little gangs, and because I stayed at one point in the gardens, that just automatic made me affiliated with OCB. So the Saigon people at that time, they see me walk with the guards, so he's one too. I'm like, no, I'm just a hooper. I'm just want to hoop. But yeah. So some cats were just assuming like, because some of my homies had stayed out here for a minute. Was just such a hot minute, they didn't really see Taylor. They seen, all they really seen was like a bunch of white people. They didn't even get to see how diverse there was. So that's what they're taking. So like, you going out there hanging with them whole ass niggas? Like, you know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, but jealousy started kicking in. But me, I don't care. I had some real, not have some real brothers that, so they got over it. Then I used to tell them, like, man, everybody I hang with, it's from Inkster, Detroit.
Right,
they just now resides in Taylor.
Yeah, man. It's the one thing about Taylor I can say about Taylor was it helped me become diverse.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? When as an adult, going into adulthood, you know what I'm saying, being a young adult, becoming a fully grown adult, it helped me be diverse around the people that I'm gonna deal with on a regular basis. Because who I'm gonna deal with on a regular basis every day, all day, is not always gonna be a black person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We had exchange students. You know what I'm saying? We had white students, we had exchange students, we had you had a little bit of everybody in Taylor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And because of that, then it helped now, as far as being able to be, diverse.
Yeah, Truman taught me a lot of that, man. Like I say, coming from Inkster, bro, we used to probably have like one, maybe two white people in the whole school.
Yeah.
And one of be such the cool ass white boy that he came off his water bus. So coming here, man, like I learned a lot, like certain words. Like me and my homie, we was young and dumb, and he's like, when you couldn't say bitch in front of a parent or older person, we just like shut up, spit to each other. I said that at Truman, called the principal's office. Like what? Like that's a racist word to Mexicans. I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I found that that's like a different race calling us niggas. So I'm like, fuck. So I was learning so much from a Pakistani that was there. He had the beanie on his head. And I remember I went to grab it, being ignorant, dumb as shit. And when I say he had a breakdown, like he started crying and started praying, and I'm like, what's going on? And he told me what would have happened if I actually put it off. And I'm like, so I was learning shit on the fly. Like, man, you go to the bathroom at Truman, you're gonna see literally the burn up smoking crack. You're gonna see the cigarette smokers. I see some people doing speed, some people doing acid. Then the weed, it's like, man, like I didn't know all these drugs didn't like. I didn't that. I know weed and crack. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like speed, acid. Like what the hell is that? Like man, like
mushrooms.
Yeah,
like that. You know, you start going to shit like bonfires and
like
you know what I'm saying? Where you light a fire on purpose, and everybody sits around this fire on purpose, drinking and getting high and shit. Like if I sat around, if it was a fire where I was from, that meant we had to leave.
I swear, like man. I mean, I went to one of my first bonfires at Truman. Majority of white people there, and gave me a drink, Southern Comfort, man. This shit was so sweet and soft. We kids now. I downed the whole first cup, like give me some more. They gave me some more. I'm down to that. My man, like, be careful, man. You know, it's like, how's your proof? I don't know what no proof meant then. All I knew was beer. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what proof mean, but fucked up. Like within an hour, like I gotta go home, man. Like I'm not in the right environment. I don't know nobody, and I'm fucked up. Like I gotta go, bro. But
yeah. So I mean, that was the one good thing about Taylor. Where it taught us diversity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It taught us how to deal with people that don't look like us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the one good thing about Taylor, and also the people that we become close with that was from Taylor. Not from Taylor, but was in Taylor with us, have gone on to doing bigger and better things. Because if you ask me, I believe it's because of that diversity. You know what I'm saying? If you look at P, you look at Lon, you look at Kaya, you look at like you say Marlo, you look at a lot of people from Taylor that has went on to do bigger and better things.
Yeah.
Now, could they have done that in an environment like a Inkster or Detroit? Probably so. But would the odds been in their favor to do so? More than likely not.
Plus Taylor gonna teach you how to fight and work harder, because now you gotta outwork this person that doesn't look like you. So,
yeah, you gotta do it 10 times more.
Yeah, so,
you know what I'm saying? And you're gonna be accused of doing shit that you didn't. That's how I got kicked off the basketball team.
What happened? Accused of doing something you didn't do.
Not that I got accused of doing something I didn't do, but I forgot the guy's name. Bektar, who passed away. No, not Bektar, but the guy, the other coach.
Costigan.
Yeah, Costigan. Mm-hmm. No, in fact, it was Bektar and it was Costigan, because Bektar ended up going telling him because they were letting this one guy do and say what he wanted to say on the bus.
Mm-hmm.
And the minute I said something fairly nowhere near what he said, Bektar checked me. And then I told Bektar, I'm not your child. Mm. So you let this guy say something and do something, and didn't say anything. I say something, then you want to get on me. So then he went back to Costigan and told Costigan, and then Costigan kicked me off the team.
Costigan threatened to kick me off a team. We played, I just remember blue uniform, Thornton. I don't remember the name of that damn school we played, but I remember Thurston. In the midst of the game, that's the first time it happened to me. We playing, and the white boy just looked dead at me like, nigger, you monkey. And like that's the first time like it happened. So I was kind of shell. So like, oh, he ain't scared of me. You know what I'm saying? That shit happened. So after the game was over, I was waiting for the game to be over. They somehow shot a tech, so he shouldn't have free throw by himself, and I'm waiting to half court for him. And he had shot the tech. He came over to me to give me a good game, and I was like, no, I pushed him. Like, nigga, I was ready to fight.
Yeah.
Not knowing Castilla watched me the whole time. This motherfucker grabbed me like, you ever do something like that again, you'll never play for a school in the Taylor District ever. I'm like, man. Granted, later on, I quit on his ass anyway. Like,
yeah, it was a lot of, being in Taylor, you had to deal with the racist.
Oh my God.
You had to deal with the racist part of being in Taylor as well.
Yes, the sports alone, man. Like I remember I stopped playing football. My idea was junior year, I'm a basketball player. I'm going to play JV football, me and P. I'm going to kick their ass on JV and just stay in shape for basketball. At the first 30 minutes of practice on JV, they're like, oh, y'all go to varsity. Y'all too good. So we in varsity. Now, granted, got to pick my position when I was on JV. I go to varsity. They're like, you're going to be a running back. But I'm like, yeah, well, Sabia's here, Jerry here, Tim here. I'm starting naming all these people. Then they're like, or you could be a linebacker. And I forgot the talk. I forgot his name.
Chad Pennington?
No, there's another guy there. I think
Chris Combs?
Maybe I ain't gonna remember. That ain't what I remember. He was tall. I don't remember. Anyhow, there's a few linebackers in front of me, so I'm looking like I'm still a little hype in practice that day, but we went to go get cleats that day at the mall. As we in the mall, I'm like, I'm not gonna play, bro. Like, I'm not about to buy cleats and ride the bench. I've never rode a bench. I'm like, I don't want to ride the bench. I'd rather play on JV. So long story short, I didn't play. And that's when I was saying I thought you was very good at football, because now that I'm not playing, I used to come to your games and I analyzed. Like, I thought you, Curtis, and Quick was very good at football. Now I say that to somebody like, Mo, good as hell at football, and they always talk, just the shit talking. I'm like, no, seriously, like a linebacker, he's flying around the field. Curtis too, and Quick. I remember seeing him getting a punt return for a touchdown. I'm like, Quick is really fast. Like, yeah. So I was like, shit, Mo was a beast on football.
Yeah, I didn't play football for the first time until I was a junior in high school.
Okay.
And I played JV. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Then I came, when y'all came up in juniors, I was a senior. That's when I finally, I was on varsity.
Yeah.
And then that's when we started hanging with Jerry. Mm-hmm. But at this time, but by now, they had their whole team. I remember this one specifically. I remember one thing, it was Jeff Combs. He got pissed off at the coach.
Blind.
Yeah.
That might be him who just ain't, the name ain't right. Now that you said it, I think that is him.
The coach was Clausen.
Okay.
He got pissed at Clausen. We remember how the football locker room was big, had the coach's office, and he took the helmet and threw it and shattered the glass, but it didn't break the glass. Them windows had all them wires in at the time. And we had a pep rally. And Clausen was like, Dilla's the secret weapon and this, that, and the third, because Jeff Combs wasn't supposed to play. But then he let him play. And I ain't play at all. Mind you, if I'm not mistaken, if I didn't, I was close to having like the most sacks on the team, which wasn't a lot. Mm-hmm. I probably had like 3 or 4 sacks.
Okay.
And I was up there with the most for the team for the season. And at the end of the season, because my mother was like on the Boosters Club.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? The parents that would help sell at the concession stand and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So we had at that banquet, and the ladies, they like, we taking up some money for the coach to give him a gift or whatever, and my mother came out and asked me, do you want me to donate some money to give him a gift? I said no. And when my mother went my mother went back in the kitchen and told them, like, no, we're not going to donate any money. They sent her back out the kitchen, and she sat with us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's how deep, as much of a good time that we had in Taylor. Taylor was awesome. A lot
of bullshit
going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I felt like, all right, I get it. I wasn't playing football from fresh. I didn't play football in junior high. I didn't play no little league football. I came in to play as a junior, and then I was a senior, and I wasn't trying to necessarily take nobody's position, but I believe that my athleticism was that much more than those that was in the same position as me. Right. Even with I believe even with Jerry, 'cause I played running back too. Because I played running because Sabia was gone and it was Jerry. And I got hit in the backfield one time because the offensive line didn't block and Clausen got mad and I never got to go back in and run back again because he was in love with Jerry for so goddamn much, not realizing how much of a troublemaker this motherfucker Jerry was. Mm-hmm. And because I remember one time me and Jerry, we had these football drills and I already knew I wasn't playing. Mm-hmm. And Jerry came up with this idea. Hey, we already knew the play. And me and Jerry like, you hit him high, I'm gonna hit him low. The shit was a game to me. Mm-hmm. And coach and we did the shit, and the coach got mad. You feel like you a big man because you knew the play, and y'all hit him like that. and he said something, and I remember telling Coach Clausen, yes, sir. And he kept saying, stop saying that to me. I'm like, yes, sir. Stop saying that to me.
I do remember that before I even knew you, bro, in Truman. I was like, oh, this guy different, man. Like, one of the first times I heard you say something, somebody came to you like, hey, Mo, such and such like you. You're like, I don't like no white girls. You said it so blunt and didn't care who heard it. I'm like, damn. I was almost like looking around, like, who heard this shit? I'm like, damn. He speak his mind right there. I know Truman's a bullshit. Me and Lyons, sophomore year, bro, on JV hoop. Not to knock nobody else on the team. Me and DeLon's the best two players. And I remember we bragging the whole year about who gonna win the MVP between me and him. And I'm like, DeLon, I think I'm gonna get you. My numbers was out than his. Now Dave Miles, granted,
I remember Dave
was the best rebounder on the team by far. I mean, the next rebounds to him, he was hundreds. Like from first to second, he was the best rebounder by far for us. But everything else, me and Lyon was like number 1 and 2 on the team in stats. So Bank would come, bro. I'm like, I'm about to win MVP. Lyon got you beat. I had the best game, the last game year against Kennedy. They announced the MVPs, Jason Stewart, Dave Miles. They gave me and Lyon a co-captain trophy. I'm like, what the fuck is a co-captain? Like, what does this even mean? Like, this is mean I was a good captain for the whole year. Like, I wanted the MVP, bro. Like, and they gave 2 MVPs. So when they said, this year we're going to do something different, we're going to give out 2 MVPs. Me and Lyon looked at each other like, we both got one. Hell yeah. That they didn't name my name. And I'm like, and then like people on the team was literally saying like, you should have got it, or you way better than such and such. And I'm like, okay, this is a little different out here. I see what's going on.
So. Yeah, that's the part that was definitely different.
Then my senior year, bro, it was probably gonna be our best year. Not the two and horn. Me, P, you remember Junior?
Yeah, I remember Junior.
Junior was with us that year. Junior was nasty on the court, man. Like we had a nice squad. Red
was about it.
Red was up with us.
Asked how you get all these damn players in the game.
Huh?
Yeah,
His nickname is Chimney. Nigga stay high. So, but bro, we had a nice squad, and we literally talking to me and P like we the best guard backcourt in the whole league. You know, we was nice. And one day after practice, me and Junior couldn't get home. His car broke down, and you know we live in Inkster though. Like we couldn't find a way, so we had to ask Coach Arnold to drop us off. And I'm telling Junior like, bro, we're gonna tell him to drop us off at Pine Ridge. From Pine Ridge, we just might have to walk to Inkster, bro. Yeah. Figure out a way. He had a better idea. Let's just get dropped off one of the houses in Inkster. Fuck it. Dropped us off in Inkster, bro. I come to school the next day. They pulled me. This is before you was able to, you stayed in one district, you had to go to school in that district, county, whatever. So they pulled me off. It's like, we heard that you live in Inkster. I'm like, no, I don't. So I was able to get somebody's address, Nook, in April. They let me use their address in Ridge. But by that time, like a week or two to went past to prove it, I'm off the team, and Coach Arnold was scared. He like, I can't let y'all back on the team because I don't want something to happen. I was pissed, bro. Like that's the one year I'm like, bro, this about to be our year. You know, we had it all. And Junior ended up going to Inkster High as a transfer student. You know, when you're a transfer student, you're not allowed to play that first year. He played and he fucked up Inkster High shit.
Damn.
I'm like, but bro, like if we just had if we could have got home from practice that one particular night, we would have been nice that year, man. I was so mad, like, bro, I can't hoop. And Pete telling me these good games he having, but they losing. And I'm like, man, I know I can be on that squad right now, bro. Me and Junior, like, and Junior was probably better than me then, like, because nigga had a J. He was tall, but he had guard skills.
I remember Junior. He wasn't a bright light bulb in the ceiling, though, but I remember Junior.
He just always high.
That motherfucker had the Lakers versus Celtics. Like, how they get all these players in the cartridge? What you mean, how they get all these players in the cartridge? How they fit in there?
Sometimes he said shit, just know Now some people try to act dumb. Just I'm hoping that was.
I mean, you know, we can, you know, we can do this shit right here for forever, man.
Yeah.
You know, because we got a lot of great memories,
stories, history, memories,
on
times.
and off the court.
Yes, sir.
You know,
just in life in general.
I remember coming to your grandmother's house out there in Inkster, and she lived across the street from the house that had them damn two Doberman pinchers. Yeah, it was two Doberman pinchers stayed across the street. You know, them motherfuckers seem to be vicious.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Anybody from Inkster schools know that man, Mr. Woods, because he's a hard monitor. Yeah.
You know, and you know, man, we, like I said, man, we could do this forever, man, and we always gonna leave something out.
Right, exactly. Right, do a part 2 a few months later. They want Quick get his ass on here.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He gotta get Quick on here, no matter how much Quick, or if you want to call him by his full name, Terry Henderson. So I'm gonna tell you, Terry Henderson, who we don't want to be on here, got to be on here. You know, but you know, I think that's probably, you know, gonna be a wrap.
Yeah, most definitely.
You know, but you know, like I said, I mean, I appreciate you coming on, man. I appreciate you coming. You know, I appreciate you just being in my life altogether. You know, even if we talk from time to time through text messages, through phone calls from time to time, or if I'm, you know, coming through Inkster and I call and see if you're home, or or if Lon is over here and I call like, hey, Lon over here, you want to come? You know, or P.O., you know, whatever it may be.
Yeah,
you know,
brothers get together. I'm always willing to pop up.
Yeah, you know, so I really appreciate you, you know, popping up on this one, and that's gonna be, you know, the conclusion of, you know, Off the Clock with Mo. You know, I just, subscribe, comment, like. You know, we gonna do this again. Hopefully, we can get, you know, a couple more of us rebels on here at the same time. You know what I'm saying? We can't get everybody on this at one time. Hopefully, we can try to get two at a time, 3 at a time, something like that.
If we can get Line on somebody, you know, Line small. So get somebody else Line. You my boy Line, just fuck with
shrimp in the basket.
I appreciate you, Brody. One love.
One love, man. Thanks a lot.